Set to come out and welcome everyone here.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We are here. We are live. NFL Draft 2025. My team. We are ready to go. Lil Wayne.
Still open the proceedings for us here. Okay. Come on. Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. People said that Green Bay was too small for this, with a population of 107,000. But we have over 125,000 people here and still counting. Obviously, Green Bay may be small, but it's mighty. Thank you all for welcoming us here tonight, and hope you have a great few days.
Man, this place is electric. Look at all these people. Man, this is bro. NFL Draft is crazy.
We will welcome the next generation of stars into the NFL and bring hope to every NFL team. And we may have a few surprises for you tonight. But first, let's hear from some of your Packer greats. Please welcome Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
Mason Crosby. Amon Green. James Jones. And Packer superfan Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Gonna go off script here real quick, Roger, but I just got off the phone with the President Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along.
Oh my God.
2 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, "My fellow Americans, the Bears still suck." I'm sorry, Roger, I'm sorry.
Okay, Green Bay. It's time to get the show started. Are you ready? The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
All right. Here we go. We already know who it is. It's Cam Ward. We already know.
So those are the words you've been waiting since February to hear. The draft is open. The Titans are on the clock, and here are some of the options that they have. Certainly the overwhelming expectation is that they will take
Cam Ward, the quarterback out of Miami. But Travis Hunter is available and expected to hear his name called early tonight. The two-way superstar, Abdul Carter, the pass rusher extraordinaire out of Penn State, wearing the legendary number of Micah Parsons. Will he be that level of good on the next level? The two quarterbacks, Cam Ward. Again, we expect him to go number one tonight. Is it the right decision? We'll talk about it. Shedeur Sanders. Will he hear his name called tonight at all? That's one of the big questions we've been discussing for weeks on the talk shows leading up to this night. The man who has almost all of the answers, almost all of the time, is our Adam Schefter, and he's with us all evening long. Shefty, what does everyone need to know as we get underway? Well, thanks, Bree. The Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, and New Orleans Saints all inquired about the availability of Cam Ward to the Titans. All were denied, despite the fact that the New York Giants offered their first-round pick this and next year, along with other picks.
Wow.
The Titans were sold on Cam Ward.
Wow.
Their new general manager, Mike Borgonzi, came from the Chiefs, where he worked with Patrick Mahomes. And Cam Ward's instincts, the way he sees and feels the field, reminded him and them of Patrick Mahomes. And so now they are poised.
We need to stop talking. We need to stop doing these Patrick Mahomes comparisons. Please. Please. Let's stop. Let's stop with it. Let's stop it.
Joe Burrow and Cam Ward right there, Greeny. All right, Shefty, thank you very much. So, Mel Kiper Jr., you and I have been talking about this on our podcast, the First Half Podcast, going back to September. Shedeur Sanders was your number one quarterback on the board then. He has remained that way throughout. Do you believe the Titans are making the right call tonight, taking Cam Ward number one? Cam Ward, I get it. His arm talent is undeniable. I understand that. He can be creative. He can escape. He can things that Shedeur can't do. But Shedeur gets an offensive line in front of him. The exact same thing I said about Tom Brady. He came out as a sixth-round pick. After Giovanni Carmazzi from Hofstra went in the third round because he's more athletic and more talented physically, athletically. Saw what happened there. When you look at Shedeur Sanders, everything you want in an NFL quarterback.
Shedeur Sanders.
He has toughness in the pocket.
Yep.
Unflappable.
Yep.
2 minutes per game. Look at the precise, accurate passes. Short, intermediate, feet.
Oh, he's showing Jackson State highlights.
He didn't have any help. The offensive line, blown block after blown block.
We showing Jackson State highlights.
He had no chance. He had to try to make plays, and he did. Guess what? The completion was kind of through the roof. How many balls hit the ground? When he needed to come through with speed, he did.
Long time in the pocket, yeah.
Athletic is ridiculous nonsense. He can move. He can roll right, roll left. Third and 8, he can get you a first down with his legs. His kid.
Yeah, that's holding.
Predictions in the NFL. Muddy pocket, right? Pressure all the time. No running game. His leading rusher over the 2.
And he showed them tight window throws that he be making.
For the season. That's it. That's Action Chippy and Amari Hampton in a game.
They only showing year 3. They didn't show him his final season. Okay, I think this is the Hail Mary. This is from the final season. This was insane.
It's not Shedeur Sanders. Cam Ward, stronger arm, more talent. I get it. But I'm telling you, Shedeur Sanders, old school pocket, you can win big in this thing. It's been proven time and time again. But the two things that everyone points to when you're talking about quarterback play, the two things that everyone wants is great decision making and accuracy throwing the football. I know you're going to talk about these two things, and it's the two things that Shedeur Sanders has built his career on, and yet we continue to try and knock this young man down for things that really people don't hang their hat on. He has plenty of horsepower in his arm. He has plenty of mobility, as you mentioned. I don't understand it either, but I'll tell you this. I believe the Tennessee Titans are making the right pick with Cam Ward because he does all the things that Shedeur
Yeah, I mean,
he does have special horsepower. And look, this comparison right here, the style of play,
the sidearm throws is insane. Yeah, I watched that game.
They may have you screaming at home when you're watching on the TV screen, but then it turns out to be big plays. Patrick Mahomes has made a living doing this. Yes, he's been one of the greatest coaches of all time. And Andy Reid, who has found a way to harness it. But that's what Brian Callahan's going to have to do for Cam Ward. Harness it. Make sure he does it judiciously. Off-platform throws.
Yep, he can do that too. Yeah. Yeah, I remember this throw too. I watched almost all his games. I remember this throw.
Patrick has done this time and time again in the NFL. Now, I understand Patrick done in the NFL. Cam Ward hasn't played a snap. This is just a comparison, and you'd be hard-pressed to tell me that you don't see the same thing that Mike Borgonzi saw, that we're throwing on this
the screen, and this is why Cam Ward the number 1 overall pick.
All right, Booger, so settle the tie here. I've got 1 vote for Shador. I've got 1 vote for Cam Ward. If it was 14, who would you select?
3 for me will be Shador Sanders. And you become enamored so much by the wild plays, so much by the off-platform throws. But really, we don't take the simple. We don't like the simple sport. What Shador Sanders does, he plays the football like an old school quarterback spot. Stands back in the pocket and he throws the football with accuracy. And it may not be the most special thing you've seen, but it's the prerequisite for the position. Completing the football with accuracy, the timing, great decisions, poise. He does all the things that you need to quarterback to do.
All right, so the pick is in, and again, we expect it to be Cam Ward, but we've not been officially told that as of yet, and then perhaps the fireworks begin after that. So Cam Ward, a young man who began his career at the University of the Incarnate Word, spent 2 seasons there, then went to Washington State, then made the decision to come out into last year's draft, changed his mind, instead transferred to the U, and look at him now, perhaps about to hear his name called as the first pick in the 2025 National Football League draft. You heard Lewis make the comparison to Patrick Mahomes. That's what everyone in the NFL was looking for. A young man with that sort of talent, those sorts of traits. The Tennessee Titans need a quarterback badly. The commissioner, I'm told, is making its way to the stage to make the announcement of the first pick in this 2025 National Football League draft. There he is. We see him. Here comes the commission. The pick is in. Number 1.
Come on.
It's kind of dry.
In the 2025 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Moore.
Wow. What a shocker. Wow. What a shocker.
As we said, he made the right call a year ago, going back to school, finished 4th in the Heisman voting in his 1 season at the U. Started 57 games in college, and I am being told as he makes his way to the stage, we will watch Cam Ward make his way to the stage, but I'm being told we have major breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Schefter, what do we have? Oh, that's really, we have the first trade of
What's going on?
The Cleveland Browns have traded out of the 2nd overall pick.
What?
And moving back to number 5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars spot. In return, the Browns will get the number 5 overall pick, a 2nd-round pick, number 36, a 4th-round pick, number 126, and the 1st-round pick of the Jaguars in 2026.
What?
The Jaguars in turn get the number.
They want Travis Hunter.
And a 6th-round pick. The Jaguars are on the clock. The youngest general manager in the NFL, James Gladstone, at the age of 34.
Don't tell me they really want Travis Hunter that badly?
At the 2nd pick, and they are targeting Travis Hunter.
I knew it. They really want Travis Hunter.
Development immediately here, and so as you see Cam Ward having his moment with the commissioner, this is something that we knew would happen. We did not know we would have a trade as early as number 2. Mel, Jacksonville giving up a lot to move up here. Is Travis Hunter, if indeed that is the player, is he worth all that they are apparently are giving in return?
Think about Jacksonville right now. Liam Cohen, right? Head coach. He wants offense. No question. Help out Trevor.
I feel like they gave up too much. Travis Hunter is generational talent, but is he worth that much?
They need help at corner. That's the need area for the Jaguars. He can be strategically worked in a quarterback late in the first half.
I don't know, man.
Travis Hunter, the Jacksonville Jaguars, all about Trevor, all about the quarterback.
I feel like they were shooting for thin air on that one. Wow, like Travis Hunter is great, but man, dude.
I understand it's tough for the NFL to play both ways. It's going to be very difficult. He may not be able to do it more than a year or two. But I think you can always work him in.
Man, that
on
is.
the other side of the ball. He's going to be offense for Trevor, and then on defense, with the
I hope it's worth it, but man, I wouldn't have done that.
Benefit in college up until this point, I'm able to just focus.
I wouldn't have done that.
So how can you be great at one spot when you're playing both ways? You're out there all the time. Yeah, he was. He's special.
And gave up a future first.
He was the number 1 player in this draft.
Who the Browns go after? Mason Graham? What if they go after Mason? You know, the Browns, maybe they just say, let's just get Mason Graham.
Think about this. The NFL game is slower. College football is a lot faster, and he did it in college football. So how come he
can do it in the NFL when the game is slower. There are fewer plays. We're going to major you on offense, and we'll let you play certain coverages on defense. I think he can do it. And if Jacksonville is indeed taking Travis Hunter, Liam Cohen, an offensive guy, you can best believe he's going to use him on offense to the fullest extent.
Sure. Like, I don't think you want to play him 120 snaps a game. Yeah, I don't think that's what. I think it's going to be something like 60-40, 75-25, something like that in terms of breaking it up. Look, Deion did tell me. Deion
Put my
said,
phone down. But yeah, Travis Hunter is going to go 2. 3 is going to be Abdul Carter. 4 is interesting to me. I have no clue. I'm hearing Will Campbell. I think that's a mistake. I feel like that's a bit of a reach going with the offensive lineman that early in the draft. Like, I would just trade down and get Membao. But, the Patriots, they need offensive line help, but I would try to trade down, in my opinion.
Expect quite a few explosive trades early, and we get it here. And look at all the Jacksonville is giving up here. The fifth pick this year, a second and a fourth, and next year's first-round pick. I'm curious to hear from you, Lewis.
Man, they gave up way too much, dude.
To Travis Hunter and
oh, my God, bro.
Has revolutionized baseball as we know it. How do you feel about the Browns trading away the opportunity to select him here?
Look, they received the ball, though. I mean, look at that on your screen right there. You have second and fourth round picks this year, a first round pick next year. I mean, that's big time. I mean, he needs to now maximize all those extra picks. But Jacksonville, man, they may be getting special play.
Back to Shefty. Here's what we got, Greeny. These two sides have been working on this trade for 2 weeks, and it changes the shape of this draft and Cleveland's approach to quarterback. Because the Browns now have 2 second-round picks at the top of this draft.
They could go after Shedeur Sanders.
What's expected to be a more quarterback-rich draft.
They could go after Shedeur Sanders.
Here tonight or tomorrow, or opt for 2026, but they have options. And the Jacksonville Jaguars instead have what they believe will be the best player in the draft. They're moving up to get that type of player. A huge swing from both teams, but both sides believe it's worth it. So there's Travis Hunter there awaiting the call that we will expect to be hearing momentarily here from Jacksonville. What are your thoughts on Travis Hunter now, who would appear headed to Jacksonville after all this time? We assumed he'd be going to Cleveland.
Love it. I think he's the best weapon in the draft. He's a unicorn, something that we have not seen. You have to maximize this, though. If you're Jacksonville, if you're going to take Travis Hunter, you have to maximize him on offense. And this is about helping achieve so far in Jacksonville. You have to surround the quarterback with him. This is the ultimate weapon, the best wide receiver in the draft, maybe the best cornerback also.
Is that Tony Khan? They got Tony Khan. Yo, this is a horrible. Don't tell me Tony Khan had something to do with this.
Fit perfectly right into what the needs are. This is the young man.
This is the new National Football League. This is a league where we did not used to see this sort of wheeling and dealing. This is becoming much more commonplace. Young general managers in place, as was pointed out by Adam Schefter moments ago, and one of the youngest and the newest in the NFL making a dramatic move here. The pick is in. The Jaguars expected to make it here any moment here. We'll hear from Roger Goodell on what they've chosen to go. Huge trade being made immediately, and the commissioner making his way to announce the trade to this crowd and the second pick in this year's draft.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion, both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
Damn, he tall as hell, bro. Jesus Christ. He big as shit, bro. What the hell?
To the commissioner, thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide, and also to tonight, I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own.
All right, man. Can just make the pick. Jesus.
We have a trade. The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back.
They get two for the price of one. Star on both sides of the ball was making history. Is nothing new for this Heisman winner. He was widely considered the best player in the country coming out of high school in Georgia. Chose to play for Coach Prime at Jackson State, making him the first five-star recruit ever to play at an HBCU. And then the first player ever to win the Boletoff Award as the nation's top receiver and the McNarick Award as the best defensive player in the country. And now he is the second pick in the National Football League draft. Mel headed to Jacksonville. With Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange, former second-round pick out of Penn State, that Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence seem to really like. Now you got a guy like Travis Hunter on the offensive side of the ball. Which
I love the walk. I love the walkthrough. Oh man, got a celebration. Oh man, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's dope. I see you got the watch on, the gold watch on. That zone is glistening.
Who have fantastic ball skills and fortunate enough to play in an era where a lot of them really made their name. But this guy right here,
Travis Hunter.
When I was out there at his pro day, and he was catching the football and running routes. One, the ball never touched the ground, and two, he didn't have gloves on.
Showing his Jackson State highlights. They showing all the reels.
I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some great players. This guy truly is.
Oh my God, this play! I remember seeing that live. I'm like, what?
He's different, and that's why.
Like, how did he catch that, bro? His other play is crazy too. That was another one. I was like, all right, bro. What?
That's what you're getting. But you be forced not to utilize him as such.
And when you're getting 2 for 1, I think you have to. It's important to talk about the stamina. God, it's hard playing football on one side of the football. Lewis, you know, you and I play defense. It's hard to play defense, and then to go sit on the bench and pop right back up and get back up and play offense. I don't think America understands the stamina that this young man has and how hard he works in the offseason.
He's going to be an interesting player to draft in fantasy next year.
I've never seen anything like this. That's a reasonable question to ask how much he can play on both sides of the ball.
I remember this play too. That clutch play. They were in a dogfight that game.
as brilliant an athlete as he is, and I tell him short,
Colorado State.
he's as good as we've seen in a long time. Can he realistically?
Yep, I remember this play. I think that was for the game, maybe.
You're not going to play him 120, 130 snaps a game for 17 games and expect him to last a decade or longer. It's just not going to happen. You have to be judicious with it. Again, I just said it has to be a 60-40, 75-25, 70-30 type of split. The question is, where do they use him first? Is it primarily offense or defense?
All right, Molly McGrath is standing by. She's got the number 2 pick in the draft for Ryan's in Business. Takes us down to the stage. Molly.
Thank you, Greeny. Travis, Jacksonville traded up to get you. What's your reaction to how all of that unfolded?
I mean, they didn't talk to me since the combine, so I'm super excited to be able to go back home and be able to play for an organization that follows where they train them and get it.
What kind of conversations did you have with the Jag staff about where they see you playing for them?
I mean, they told me they was going to let me go out there and do what I do, so they put me on phone with both coordinators, so I'm going to go out there and do what I can do.
Travis Hunter, a history maker, the first player in the draft era to be announced at both positions, receiver and defensive back. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Greeny,
You mentioned that he's going home. His hometown in Georgia is about 374 miles from Jacksonville. And we talk about the history that he is making. Well, we are in the shadow of Lambeau Field, the legendary Green Bay Packers. Don Hudson is the only player in NFL history to catch 400 passes and make at least 10 interceptions. He did all of that without wearing shoulder pads, by the way. Will Travis Hunter be the first ever to do it with shoulder pads? The last player to play consistency on both sides of the ball was his coach, Deion Sanders. Prime time, 1996 with the Cowboys. He made 8 starts on both offense and on defense. Obviously, one of the great players of all time. We'll see if his protege is able to follow in his footsteps. So, fireworks early here tonight. Jacksonville making the trade. Moving up to number 2. I'm told the pick is in now at number 3. So the New York Giants, who've been waiting all season long to see what direction.
This is Abdul Carter. It's Abdul Carter.
Expected to go in the direction of quarterback, and then that conversation seemed to have ceased. Perhaps they'll target a quarterback later in the night. There's the Giants draft room. John Mara looking for results quickly.
John Mara does not look happy right now.
The commissioner is making his way to the stage. After Cam Ford went number 1, Travis Hunter went number 2. It's time to find out who's going number 3.
With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select
Abdul Carter. Yep.
defensive end.
Yeah. The draft don't start until pick 4.
In the country, finished with 23 sacks in 3 years in state college, and Mel was all over the field in that semifinal loss to Notre Dame, which proved to be his final game as a
Think about Abdul Carter. You know, he's worked as an off-ball linebacker for 2 years. He had 17 tackles for loss and 11 sacks over a 2-year period. They unleash him off the edge this past year. He goes to 24 tackles for loss. Done that more than over a 2-year period. 24, 12 sacks as opposed to 11 over a 2-year period. Double the number. So the bottom line is, you put him off the edge, you can play him off ball, you can steal the edge, play the run, play the game with passion. They drop him in the cover. Did a really good job there. The bend, the wide variety of moves this young man had. I thought he was exceptional. The foot injury kind of clouded the issue a bit. Surgery, no surgery. That foot injury would push him down. It did not. The Courtside had 2 and what? Davon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. Will they play him off ball? Will he be in that rotation with those guys? Bottom line is, you get the guy off the edge this year. When he was finally Micah Parsons, we saw what he could do when he was unleashed. And just like Parsons, this kid resembles that type of player. That's Abdul Carter.
And when you think about what a team in their division in Philadelphia did with that defensive line and the way they dominated Kansas City in the Super Bowl and the way they were so stacked with the defensive line, it's no wonder New York sees the same thing with Carter and Burns and Dexter Lawrence.
Carter.
Absolutely dominated.
He's going to be a stud.
Inside. And so I think he's the best edge guy in the draft. The elite first step putting.
It's funny. I remember before a single game, just playing the video game, I was like, yo, this dude is Micah Parsons? Like, they got this man playing like Micah Parsons? Lo and behold, dude turns out to be like Micah Parsons in real life. It's crazy.
When you talk about competitive character, for 60 minutes, this dude is hunting quarterback. He asked the Penn State coaches prior to the 24th season to put him at defensive end. He asked for the switch. They were wondering how he was going to handle when they put him in a 6 technique, right? They'll head up over the tight end when tackles started coming down on him and double teaming him, whether or not he was going to be able to withstand it and come back.
Look at the explosiveness.
He continues to get better at it.
The pursuit.
I'll tell you this, when it's 3rd down, he's got speed to power. He's got high side speed. He's got an inside spin. He can
play off ball. He can play on ball linebacker, defensive end, versatility. He can bend. An array of pass rush moves. 6'3", 250.
Thank you, Greeny. Abdul, your dad trained you your entire childhood. What was that moment like after your name was called with your dad and the rest of your family?
Yeah, it was surreal. I wouldn't be here without him. I'm just blessed. Thankful for my family. Thankful for everybody who helped me get to this moment. I can't wait to celebrate this moment with my family.
You grew up in Philly. You grew up an Eagles fan. How are you going to bring the Giants back to dominance in the NFC East?
Yeah, I'm all New York. New York getting everything from me. All the passion I have, all the love that I have, all the excitement. On third down, and we get loud. I'm going to get that big play, make my best pass rush, make that big explosive play.
All right, congratulations, Abdul.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, Molly, thank you. Abdul Carter is the third defensive player selected in the top 3 overall by the Giants in the common draft era. The others, Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks. So Travis Hunter is off the board. How about his college teammate, Shedeur Sanders, waiting to hear his name called as round 1 of the NFL draft continues from Green Bay on ESPN. The 2025 NFL Draft is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL.
I think Courtyard's official fan center has opened a new world for me. Now we get to hang out with NFL fans all season long.
Wait, what?
See you on game day.
One of us.
You all need to see this. We don't have to kill them.
What is he doing?
I wonder if I'm not listening. You're right.
This one.
Come on.
June 13th.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey with a tough call.
You can't go wrong.
This is a big call, Christian. Big call, biggest call of your life. Wood or tile finish? Which one you gonna do? This could make or break the whole.
I legit thought I was gonna vomit talking about that.
You should get the man some London's.
Really?
And a decisive
We're gonna play this game again.
in 4 hours.
Alexa Bliss is the best thing. What? Exactly. Which is why I'm here to say that I didn't come to Raw to talk. I came to Raw to win.
Let's put the entire family in the crosshairs.
New World Order. New series now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hey, you know you're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial?
Since when?
You gotta wait till it's done. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Turn the off season on again. With the NFL, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
Welcome back to Green Bay. Time for a draft moment. Powered by the Dinosaur. Immediately, Jacksonville trading up from number 5 to number 2 with the Browns and taking Travis Hunter, the sensational two-way star out of Colorado. Number 3, the New York Giants. Quarterback needy, but deciding to go after the quarterback Hunter, Abdul Carter, the defensive end from Penn State, is the president of the New England Patriots on the board, and their pick is in. The commissioner is making his way to the stage to announce the Patriots pick here with their new coach, Mike Vrabel. Which side of the ball does he look to go on and go around their young quarterback, Drake May? Here's the commissioner with the Patriots.
Oh my God! Here we go.
England Patriots select Will Campbell.
So the mock drafts have gone how they were supposed to go. Offensive line stunk last year.
But the starter at LSU from the day he set foot on campus, in all, he started 38 games, was a consensus All-American bug as a junior last year.
Pretty, I've known him since he was 18 years old. He's always been a left tackle. He was the left tackle at LSU. He was the left tackle in the NFL. I know there's concerns and questions about the arm length. He had that same arm length in the SEC where he lined up against the competitors week in and week out. You're talking about a guy who's a defender. Elite athleticism. He has the balance to recover. If you beat him on the outside, he will turn and come back on the inside. His recovery is some of the best you'll see at the left tackle position. Footwork is tremendous. Has the ability to mirror and stay in front of defenders. And from a power standpoint, has the power to stop and anchor all the speed rushing. But I think what New England needs to know what they're getting an alpha in the room, a leader. If you're Mike Vrabel, you're coming in there and you're bringing your character, your culture in there, Will Campbell will instill that. He will be an alpha in the offensive line room, and that's exactly what New England needs.
Mel, is he the best offensive lineman in this draft? There were quite a few tackles we'll hear tonight.
Armand Membo for Missouri at a right tackle. So you want a left tackle. Remember last year, J.C. Latham, left right tackle, moved to left tackle and struggled. Now it's back at right tackle. That's not automatic. So they want that blindside protector. They had to have it for Drake May. He's the franchise. Will Campbell, the arm length is an outlier. The outliers can be great. There's no question. Will Campbell's run blocking is phenomenal. Pass protection over Drake May will get the ball out. He'll protect Will a little bit as well in that regard. I'm keeping an eye on a couple things here now as the draft unfolds. The Giants, right? Giants have Abdul Carter. They have a quarterback room right now of Wilson, Winston, and DeVito. If that's the last month. Now trains a law firm, quarterback room a little empty, right? What do they do at quarterback moving forward? With Shador maybe dropping, we'll see where he goes. What does Cleveland do? They are a quarterback needy team, but you got Ashton Jenkins sitting there, right? They're looking for a defensive end opposite Myles Garrett. They want a wide receiver as well, and they also have that big need at the quarterback spot. So we have New Orleans sitting there at 9. I've said all along that's the perfect team because it's the Dome Stadium, Atlanta Dome, Carolina, Tampa Bay. So we have teams now, but how are they going to maneuver now for quarterbacks? A spring team, quarterback needy. How do they attack it?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what they're going to do. But I can tell you what right now Mike Vrabel's doing, and he's walking around in that draft room shaking hands. So I tell you this, they have gone to work this offseason and trying to make sure Drake May is taken care of. Okay, they get Morgan Moses, they plug him in right tackle. Garrett Grant going to play center now. And now you've got Will Campbell, who of that highlight right there, we didn't mention some of the things that he was doing on that highlight. But, we talked about his arm like being sub-33.
Mason Graham, number 5. That's a draft pick.
Look, I think methodically New England is addressing all the things that all season we said they need to address. Will Campbell will be a decades-long left tackle bookend for them. This is a no-brainer pick in my estimation.
It was the expected pick. So the players that have been drafted thus far, for those of you who have not followed the process all through the last few months, they've been the players that we were expecting to hear fall tonight. Obviously, the huge shocker was Jacksonville trading up to number 2, and so the Browns are now on the clock. They will make the next selection, having traded back at number 5. In the meantime, Verizon Business brings it back down to the stage, and Molly is there with Will Campbell. Molly.
Well, you're just the second ever LSU O-lineman to be picked in the first round. I can see that you're emotional here. How meaningful is it for you to represent this program in the state of Louisiana?
It means everything. They did so much for me and my family, and for me to be able to represent them the right way.
You get that country action.
What they did for me.
I know you spent a lot of time with Patriots staff and head coach Mike Vrabel. What do you like about the culture that he's building there in New England?
That logo speaks for itself. But, Coach Vrabel is a guy who I want to play for. He's a football guy, no BS. And I've loved everything that everybody in that building's about since the first time I saw him.
Oh, he's going to be a rock star. He's going to be a star.
To be able to have this hat on right now.
Well, one thing's for sure, quarterback Drake May has to be happy about this selection. Congratulations, Will.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Trini.
Now you can hear the awe in his voice. What a wonderful moment. Reminder that this night is not just about the analysis, but it's about the opportunity for these young men. By the way, the older football fans in our audience will appreciate this. The Patriots have drafted a top 10 offensive lineman only once in the common draft era. It was John Hannah, who was 4th overall in 1973 and may very well be the greatest guard that ever played.
No doubt about it. They're hoping that obviously will he can be at that left tackle spot. One of the more critical fix so far.
Man, can we just get the pick going?
Be that franchise quarterback they hope
It's taking so long.
Number 5, again, this is the Cleveland Browns. They traded back. Originally had the 2nd pick, moved back here to 5, and here comes the commissioner to announce the selection.
With the fifth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham.
Yep, I called it. I knew it. I knew he was going to go 5. I knew it. I knew he was going to go 5.
These have been the players we were expecting. Mason Graham is a 2-time All-American from Los Angeles. He was the defensive MVP of the Rose Bowl, the year the Wolverines won the national title. He was a star wrestler in high school as well. Jim Harbaugh called him a gift from the football god when he brought him to Ann Arbor, and now Graham lived up to the hype.
Everybody said Graham was dropping. And there was even Walter Nolan could maybe go ahead of the defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. But Mason Graham.
Now, the Raiders is an interesting one. I've been hearing Ashton Genty. I've been hearing maybe a receiver.
But defensive tackle is one of those. Mason Graham, heavyweight wrestling champion. And you can see that in terms of leverage. Slow man to the NFL. The versatility, the vibrant, active hand, the reactability, diagnostic ability. Stats were not off the chart.
Are they going to draft Ashton Genty that high?
Consistency, the ability, I think, to impact the football game where quarterbacks hate it the most up the gut.
When you play that position really inside, you better have a couple of things. You better have a quick first step. You better use your hands well. And you better have great balance. He has all 3 of those things. He can make tackles from tackle to tackle. And
I don't know.
I love his motor. I love his disruptiveness and his ability to use his hands. You have to have strong hands to control the center, to control the guard, to get those guys off you.
They need a lot of pieces. I ain't gonna lie. They need defense.
He is a disruptor and playmaker.
Corners suck. They ain't gonna drive a corner this high. It's either gonna be Ashton Genty or offensive lineman help. I'm gonna go Ashton Genty at 6. It's either they gotta either go wide receiver, running back, or offensive lineman. I'm gonna go Ashton Genty. I think they're going to overdraft Ashton Genty at 6.
Can he produce watching the pass? Let's go to the stage. Verizon Business and Molly McGrath. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Trini. Mason, you are a tone setter for Michigan's defense. What kind of attitude and toughness are you bringing to Cleveland?
I mean, just fierce competitor. I want to come in there and win, get to the top and then, win a Super Bowl. So that's, my one mission coming in, and that's what I'm going to do.
A Michigan man is going to the state of Ohio. How are you going to make amends with those fans after what you did to the Buckeyes the last 3 years?
I'm sure we'll get along pretty well coming here pretty soon.
All right, good luck. Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Trini.
That's exactly right. Heading into what would have been considered enemy territory previously, but now the new favorite son of the Cleveland Browns, Mason Graham, an outstanding player. So now the Vegas Raiders are on the clock, and what a fascinating decision they have ahead of them here. Early in this process, Mel, we were talking about Shedeur Sanders-Hughes. He has a long history with Tom Brady. That conversation has pretty much died away completely. That was part of the early discussion. That's not what we're expecting, at least here. They have Pete Carroll. You see him there in the draft room as the Raiders make their decision at number 6.
What about Geno Smith now, right? Pete Carroll are tied together. He made Geno great, right? An outstanding quarterback in this league. He still has probably 3 years left where he can play at a very solid level. So for Geno Smith to help him out, what does Pete Carroll want to do? Run the football. He had Marshawn Lynch. They drafted Rashad Penny. Didn't work out, but they still took him in round 1. You look at a guy like Ashton Genty, what he can mean to this football team. I put 4th overall on the big board. My last thing's not my ranking. On value and ability, he's the 4th best player in this draft. He deserves to be a pick this high based on that. I think the Raiders would look at running back Ashton Genty over on my country. Yeah, look, this is a football team that didn't have a rusher go over 500 yards last year. You just can't have that in the NFL. So you would think that Pete Carroll, considering where he came from and what his philosophy is, he'd be sitting there going, how do we not take the guy?
Yeah.
It's a team that has a lot of holes, and although one might think that taking a running back is a bit of a luxury.
You're too young to understand this right now, so I thought I would put it on film for you.
The commissioner making his way toward the microphone.
I built this for you. And someday you'll realize that it represents a whole lot more than just people's
In
opinion.
the 2025 NFL Draft, Austin Genty.
Yep. I got the script. I got the script. I mean, a lot of the mock drafts are correct.
2,600 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns. Unanimous All-American won the Maxwell Award, the Doug Walker Award, and finished runner-up for the Heisman. Fascinating life story. His dad was a naval officer, so he played his first year of high school football in Naples, Italy, and was a quarterback. Ultimately wound up in Frisco, Texas, then to Boise for college, and now he is a Las Vegas Raider.
Spectacular all-around running back. He was a workhorse. He only had one game where he had 30-plus carries in 2023.
to get open. And his cafe, this is something Bryce Young's going to absolutely need. And you're right. Did you see him here hugging Smith? All these guys.
So Saints, Will Johnson. Will Johnson is best player available. I disagree with that.
Nice moment there as he placed the lay on the commissioner there. General McMillan was a very proud winner of the Polynesian Player of the Year awards, both in high school and in college. So that's a lovely moment there. By the way, he was a high school teammate of Mason Graham, who was drafted earlier tonight. And
so
he is celebrating as General McMillan is the
they got to go Jalen Walker now. I mean, if you're not going to draft the quarterback, you have to go best player available at that point.
Pretty much anywhere that I've looked.
Well, because we thought Carolina was going to go defense, but I get the fact really they're trying to help the young quarterback. That seems to be the new thing. Do you fortify the defense and keep the points down, or do you try to evaluate the young quarterback by getting him some weapons? I like the move. Bryce Young came on at the end of last season. We started to see promise, and so if you're Carolina, why not help the young quarterback to see if you can continue this climb that he's made toward the end of last season?
Taking the wide receiver is perhaps not the big surprise. Which receiver it was might be a bit of a surprise to some. In the meantime, Verizon Business brings us back to the stage, and Molly is with Teteroa McMillan. Molly.
Teteroa, I know that you're wearing a lei that your grandmother made, and there is a rich history of Hawaiian-born players in the NFL. How special is it to join that brotherhood?
Oh, man, it's a blessing. You know, at the end of the day, the people that came before me are the people that laid the foundation and set the precedents for me to be successful today. So, at the end of the day, you know, I'm trying to put on for the Polynesian culture and, make everybody proud.
You were a big play receiver in college. What kind of impact can you make on this Panthers offense right away?
Man, I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I know I got a quarterback that I can trust in, a coaching staff that believes in me, and teammates that are ready to play for me, and I'm ready to play for them. So, it's this organization, man. I can't wait.
That looks good on you. Congratulations.
All right, thank you so much.
Great.
All right, Molly, thank you very much. The New Orleans Saints now on the clock. And as you can see, they are a team that has gone the longest of any in the NFL since drafting a quarterback in the first round. Archie Manning, in fact, is the only quarterback the New Orleans Saints ever selected in the first round. Parenthetically, Troy Aikman is the only first-round quarterback the Dallas Cowboys ever took. Mel, you have been forecasting for quite some time Shedeur Sanders in this spot.
I love the fit. I go back to Drew Brees. I see similarities to Drew coming out. Arm strength question, similar size, right? He was going to go to Miami. He didn't. He got the shoulder, right? He ends up in New Orleans, wins a Super Bowl, right? You think about where we are right now with Shedeur Sanders in this deck. I remember a few years back when the Saints traded up in the first round. Thought it was going to be Lamar Jackson. It was Marcus Davenport, defensive end at Texas San Antonio. The division, the two former number one pick overalls, and Baker and Bryce, in addition to Michael Penix Jr. I'm the Saints. I'm taking Shedeur Sanders.
Let's find out if that's what they've done. Here's the commissioner to announce the pick for New Orleans.
This should be Jalen Walker, but they're not going to QB Jalen Walker.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr.
What?
Tackle, Texas.
What?
Kelvin Banks Jr. is one of the most decorated linemen
What?
in history. He was a unanimous All-American as a junior last year. He won the Outlet Trophy. He won the Lombardi Award. He was a starter as a true freshman coming out of Houston. He started all 42 teams he played. And Mel, he was a huge part of the resurrection of Longhorns football under Steve Sarkisian.
Offensive line's an issue. I just wonder who can be playing quarterback for this football team moving forward. And think about where we are right now in that division. Shedeur Sanders is sitting there. You say Kelvin Banks Jr., who didn't have a great year at Texas.
So Derek Carr is going to be out for a while. You select an offensive lineman and you don't have a quarterback. Do they think like Aaron Rodgers is going to want to play for the Saints or something? Like, I'm confused. They could have just traded down, maybe gotten a Jackson Dart, who I'm not too fond of, but get somebody. I don't quite understand. You want to build the trenches, but you don't have a quarterback.
As far as health in his family, it never distracted him. He was continuously there for his team. As you mentioned, he wasn't 100% healthy, but when he is, this guy is smooth and fluid as water. Big, heavy hands, got a nasty playing personality. He can pass protect with the very best of them, and the New Orleans Saints need it. They're one of the very worst teams in the NFL in terms of
Yeah, I mean, that's the case, then I understand. But, like, man, I guess they're just going to tank for next season and get the quarterback, but
And he is a culture builder. Son could not be happier and more effusive in his praise for Kelvin Banks.
And it kind of goes with how Mickey Loomis built his team. 8 out of the last 10 picks Rennie have been offensive linemen for defensive linemen for Mickey Loomis and the Saints. He understands how to build this team. Yeah,
so I guess now, I mean, in mock draft, Jalen Walker has been going to Chicago in a lot of mock drafts, so it makes sense.
For the Saints, as they look for that quarterback in the future that they have to give at some point.
In our countdown show, Adam Schefter has suggested the Saints may be looking to target a quarterback in the second round. Meanwhile, we have an update on the scheduling release. Laura Rutledge and Colleen Wolf join us. Laura.
Ladies and gentlemen, NFL fans everywhere, hold on to your hats because, boy, do we have an announcement for you live from the heart of the NFL draft right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's right, Colleen. The schedule release marks a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. It sets the stage for a thrilling season. Yeah, this is where we get to geek out over every single game at bye week, primetime revenge and rematches.
Don't tell me the Bears drafted a tight end at 10.
At Lambeau in December. Ooh, we're gonna have to find out. You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and where do they make their NFL debuts? We're gonna find that out as well. Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games as well as Christmas, Thanksgiving Day. There's so many captivating matchups. The best. Yeah, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another. So, everybody, get it together. Mark your calendars. Set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on May 14th. There we go. Lock it in. We can't wait. You can tweet it out, tell everybody, and don't miss it. Be sure to check out all the great content from the NFL team sites, the club social channels around the schedule release. Tune into NFL Network as well as ESPN. Too much full coverage of the thrilling 2025 matchups. May 14th just around the corner. I know. It's basically here at this point. Guys, get ready and buckle up for the greatest season of your lives.
So there you have it, May 14th, which is a Wednesday, the 2025 NFL schedule. As well. The schedule release will stream on ESPN Plus. So loudly here now, and that is because the Chicago Bears have just been announced as on the clock. In fact, the pick is already in. There is no rivalry in any American professional sport, and that includes all of them, quite like the Bears and the Packers, which goes back to the very beginning of the National Football League's history. And so these Packer fans will boo the Bears even more loudly than they boo the commissioner. Here comes Roger Goodell to announce Chicago's selection at 10.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Missy, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland.
Oh, they went tight end. Colston Loveland.
Colston Loveland grew up on a farm in Bliss, Idaho, which has a population of 200.
They went tight end? I mean, he's good, but man, I guess. No, for what they need, it wouldn't have made sense for them to go after Tyler Warren. Because Tyler Warren's not nearly the blocker of Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland is more of that traditional tight end. So, but man, over Jalen Walker?
This 56 catches single season record for a tight end. So he was still productive. He can stretch the deep middle. He's a tremendous athlete. He snatched the ball with his hands. Blocking leads to a point. But what they want, they have Cole Kmet. They want a third receiving option, a receiving entity. That's what Brock Bowers was last year. You have DJ Moore. You have Romo Dunze for Caleb Williams. Now you add that big-time receiver. He can get down the middle of the field, and he can make big catches, and he has run after the catch ability in Colston Loveland mode.
Very rarely, Brandon, do you get a tight end that can threaten the defense at all three levels. Short, intermediate, and he can go deep. As a defender, we don't prepare for tight ends to go 30, 40, 50 yards down the field. He can do that. Essentially, he plays like a big wide receiver. And you talk about the matchup problems. Giving a young quarterback another chance he needs to work with. This is the ultimate. I think Sean Payton calls him a choker. This is the ultimate choker now that being constant Chicago Bears have for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, the thing about it, though, about him is the fact that even though he is such a great athlete, he comes off the ball so fast, and can really stretch the middle of the field so quickly. If you go 12 personnel, right, with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and you go sub and put a defensive back on the field, this guy will maul a defensive back in the run game. If you go with a light clock and go people block your rear end off. This is Ben Johnson. This is exactly the kind of chess piece he wants, man. Caleb Williams too seems to be looking at him going, "This is perfect."
Colston Loveland, the third tight end selected by the Bears in the first round since 1960. One of them was Mike Ditka in 1961. The Niners will choose next on ESPN.
Our Earth is rich with diverse, vibrant, delicate ecosystems, and we must protect them at all costs. Together, we can discover the wonder of our planet before it's too late.
Order a 10-piece McNuggets meal with spicy nether flame sauce. And unlock epic add-ons in Minecraft. Only when you order on the McDonald's app. Let's build it.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost. Man, I'm looking for a one. Could you put in aisle 27? Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app.
Pretty baby.
This is the most flavorful day of my life.
Easy Sweetie Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Why do 80% of NFL players choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? Because the higher my sleep IQ score, the better I play. But that's not the only reason.
He likes the side firm. I like my side soft.
Sleep Number does that. Effortless comfort all night. So sleeping on a smart bed is why you can play like this? Yeah, because I also like to sleep cool.
And I like to sleep even cooler.
And I really like it when we both get what we want. Sleep Number does that. Meet the Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. Visit a Sleep Number store near you. More football, experience the game like never before.
Every snap, every play, we take you inside the huddle, on the sidelines. We're going to keep balling into the helmet.
The access. Yes,
see and hear everything. More of what you love. The United Football League on ESPN. Saturday at 7 and Sunday starting at noon.
Imagine if there's an ESPN Sportsbook app that linked to the ESPN app so you could track bets while you check stats. Go from streaming to betting in a couple taps. Personalized offers based on your fantasy team.
You're literally describing ESPN Bet, which exists.
Be a total game changer. It's one of my best ideas.
ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. Sign up today and receive $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 bet.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The San Francisco 49ers are on the clock at number 11. You're looking at a picture of Shedeur Sanders, who is in Texas tonight waiting to hear his name being called. Now, it has been one of the big storylines leading up to this draft that if Shedeur Sanders or any of the quarterbacks lasted beyond the ninth selection of the New Orleans Saints. Take a look at the teams who choose here through the teams, if you will, up until the Steelers pick at number 21. Not any obvious expectation that any of these teams would need to select a quarterback. So, Adam Schefter, what should we be expecting?
Well, I mean, the wait is on for Mel Kiper's top-rated quarterback in this draft, and that is the next logical landing spot, the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21. But there are no assurances that the Steelers take him. And if they don't take him at 21, then it's possible Shedeur Sanders could slip out of the first round and into the second round on Friday night.
All right, Shefty, thank you very much. And obviously, at any point, the team could wind up trading up and in, so we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. In the meantime, our house announcer, Alan Roach, has an announcement.
Please direct your attention to the main stage video stream.
I hope they drive Will Johnson. I hope they drive Will Johnson. Just reach on Will Johnson. They're not going to do that, though.
Hello from United
God.
I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We are proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary. We are grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL Salute to Service and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
Oh, okay. They're introducing the 49er package. Oh, I thought they were introducing the pick. All respect for the veterans. All respect for the veterans. Let me not do that. USA.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
They're getting Jalen Walker. This motherfucker. What? What? No way. What? What?
Came in the SEC title game against Texas. He was a five-star recruit from Columbus, Georgia. 14 sacks in 3 seasons after starting his very first game as a true freshman, and still very young now. He won't turn 21 years old until late June.
Yeah, he had a high grade going into the season, Grady. Then he had that ankle injury, a left ankle injury against Clemson. Came back from it and played and didn't shut it down. Continued to play. The second to be somewhat productive. He had 9 tackles for loss. He had 5 sacks. He forced a couple fumbles. He looks the part of an edge rusher in the National Football League. With his side, his long arms, 34.5 arms, and huge hands. They need to do is get a more repertoire moves going, coming after the quarterback off the end. I thought he played the run great. He has a strong run defender off the end, but as a pass rusher, I thought a little bit more work. That pass rush specialist these teams have what to get the most out of Michael Williams.
He's got the things that you cannot teach: the traits, the height, the arm length, the ability to set the edge and play the run. We know he's technically sound playing at Georgia the way Kirby Smart coaches defense. The only concern I have is when it comes to using those traits and getting to the passer. I didn't see much of a rush plan, Lou. I didn't see any move besides the speed to power.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you draft him that early? Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. That is such a high pick.
John Lynch loves it. He loves defensive line. You're going to pair him with Nick Bosa, straight 2 bookends. But is he going to be able to live up to this ceiling that's going for pass rush Arsenal? I want to see that.
Yeah, they needed to restock the coverage in San Francisco on defensive line. This used to be that position, used to be the heartbeat of that football team. Both lines of scrimmage. In fact, defensive end.
Is there something we don't know about Jalen Walker that has came out? Because he was consensus top 10.
This year, he said himself, he played at maybe 60% most of the year.
Yo, what if the Cowboys draft an offensive lineman? I am going to crack up laughing if they draft the offensive lineman.
Be selected by San Francisco in the first round in the common draft era. And so the Dallas Cowboys selection.
Boo! Boo! I will crack up laughing if they draft an offensive lineman with this pick. Or Will Johnson. If they draft Will Johnson, boy. Oh my God, they drafted a guard. Oh my gosh.
Johnson played in 38 games at Alabama, started the final 27. All but one of those, Mel, was at left guard.
He's a powerhouse inside. He will beat you up. I'll tell you something. It's a heavyweight fight when you go up against Tyler Booker. You better bring it because he will beat you up. If they run block, he'll drop you off the ball. He never stops at sustaining. And I thought he was in pass protection, book. Outstanding. Now, he's so good, guy. You know what? Movement. It's not his team kid. Movement's not his game. But as a guy that's a power block speed, he can drop off the ball. Not what they say his pass pro skills.
He drafted Tyler. I mean, they're good at developing offensive linemen, but come on, bro. Y'all need weapons. Y'all need skill position players. Oh my goodness. They did not just do that, bruh. They did not just do that, bro.
This is a need pick. I think he's the best guard in the draft, and it fits what the Cowboys had to do.
But building the trenches is something that Dallas is trying to do, right? I mean, Tyler Booker, he's someone who's, at 6'4" and 321. But I thought when he did get blocked on the people, when he did, he could absolutely.
Bro, if Jalen Walker slips to 23,
you see him here on some of those combo blocks when he's able to get his hands inside and get his legs moving, he's going to get some surface removal. He's going to get some people knocked off the ball. I did think he got a little top heavy, got out over his toes some. If he was going up against a good 3 technique, was able to get on his edge and make him move laterally. He got a little top heavy. But look, that's why offensive line coaches are the most important coaches on a football staff, minus the outside of the head coach. And Dallas has to make sure that they develop his young man.
they really selected him.
And they can get it all out of him. And there's more plays like that.
Oh my God, bro. I mean, trenches are important, but man, Dak needs weapons. Dak needs weapons, dude. He only has CeeDee Lamb.
So our colleague Nick Saban, very proud, no doubt about
God.
that, in his retirement doing the telecast tonight for us on ABC. So Bama once again with a first-round player, and the Dallas Cowboys making their selection there at number 12, which leaves the Dolphins on the clock here at number 13. And the Dolphins, an interesting team to consider here as a fight in that AFC.
Dolphins going Jalen Walker. They're going Jalen Walker.
With Tyler Booker, the joy, the unbridled joy that he brought out onto that stage. It's such a joy to watch as you see the emotion.
Cowboys are going Jalen Walker.
To be drafted by the Cowboys, obviously becoming a household name. Certainly, we talked about plenty on Get Up all morning long. All right, let's talk to Horizon Business. Takes us down to the stage in Miami. Is with Tyler Booker. Molly.
Tyler, a lot of emotion from your family in the green room. You came out onto this stage with a lot of emotion. What's going through you?
I'm just glad to be a Cowboy. This is really a dream come true. It's truly a blessing. I actually trained in Dallas, so I fell in love with the area. And the whole process, I thought, man, it would be great to be a Cowboy. And the Lord works in mysterious ways. Shout out to God. Trust and believe in God. If you're ever going through something, like just trust in God. He got you.
Those who know you emphasize your leadership and character. What are the Cowboys getting in you?
They're getting the same thing in Alabama. They're going to get a leader, somebody who loves to work, somebody who loves training, somebody who loves his team, somebody who's done his aim to win multiple championships. I can't wait for this traditional success in Dallas. I'm so excited.
Don't get brainwashed. Don't get brainwashed. You seem like a good dude. Don't get brainwashed.
Look at him and his family. And now, as we continue to watch the celebration of these young men, we also bring you tonight something special from NFL star George Kittle and his friend Red Guardian from Marvel Studios' Wonderful, which will be available only in theaters on May the 2nd.
My favorite late round pick. I wasn't picked that late. Many teams doubted you. Red Guardian was doubted too. Shouldn't he be like saving the world? I'm looking for sleepers in later rounds. Maybe they will get their face on Wheaties box, like you. Are you sure about that? You sure, huh? I mean, you could have picked a better picture at least. Look at that. Come on.
Studios Thunderbolts, rated PG-13, only used May 2nd. From Marvel Studios, summer begins.
With the
What? Thunderbolts. Delinquents.
Thunderbolts. Crap and deals.
Thunderbolts. Bad guys. How cute. You formed a team. Thunderbolts?
It's cool, man. Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Can't call ourselves that.
Rated PG-13, get tickets now.
Those are the Adidas I've been looking for. Hi.
Wow, look who's getting their fix for kicks and dips.
I know. There's so much here.
Plus all the fancy styles that just don't miss.
I need these in a size 6. There's even more kicks when you click on kicks.com.
Kicks for you. That's right.
Ring girl, make it.
You again. Everybody's loving that Grubhub deal with Prime, huh?
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Go to Amazon.com/Grubhub, activate your free Grubhub Plus membership, and start ordering with $0 delivery fees on Grubhub for top restaurants in your go-to spots. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply. Should we just start calling?
I can control the radio.
Never mind.
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's Breakfast Faves combo is now just $6, featuring IHOP's world-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6. Part of the new $6 House Faves menu.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
We about to level up. We about to level up.
The new star of the sea. Book your vacation today.
This is the legendary light beer. If this can could talk, it would tell stories. And if you've had one, you probably got a story worth telling. Here's the 50 years of Military.
I got something coming up. Something kind of big.
Welcome back to Green Bay, where the Miami Dolphins are currently on the clock. We are a dozen kicks in to round 1 here of the 2025 National Football League draft. Just moments ago, the Dallas Cowboys selected Tyler Booker, if you were just joining us, and the Dolphins are on the clock. The picks have been made. Picks have been going relatively quickly tonight. Very few of the teams have taken the full 10 minutes they usually do. So the Dolphins are on the clock, and the commissioner is here to announce the selection.
This is
Pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle.
what?
One of the stars of
The first, hold on, what? The second D tackle over Derek Harmon and Walter Nolan? What?
fluctuation in both weight. He's when he gets a little heavy, I thought his endurance, his stamina played a little high, wore down in some games. That's an issue. I think when he plays at the right weight, he can be a guy who can affect the path of the quarterback throwing the football. Because he can break up passes, he can be disruptive. Certainly, look at the violent, active hands. He showed that as well as Mason Graham did at Michigan. He was really going into the year, he almost on a par with Mason Graham. So, you look at Kenneth Graham, Lance Campbell now is an Arizona Cardinals defensive tackle because of that move became a need. Kenneth Graham, they manage that weight, don't have a thing where you, like I said, the endurance stamina you need to be able to play full speed ahead for 60 minutes. When you play high, you're neutralized. And that's what happened with Kenneth Graham. But when he was on his game and the weight was where it needed to be, he was a really good football player. And he was a guy I thought should get better once he's in the NFL, once he learns to do that.
You're thinking about his ceiling, Dexter Lawrence from the New York Times. That's the type of big man he is that can move. Athletic.
Really?
Can make plays. This is not just a guy that's going to be a fire hydrant to sit there. This is a big man that's 230 pounds, Grady, and he can run, he can move. He's got to become a better rusher, and I think he has all the tools because he is a twitchy 330 pounds. He uses his hands. I need more out of him in the pass rush game, but from a run standpoint, he can lock down the way Dexter Lawrence did at Clemson.
Yeah, the coaching staff in Michigan, Wade Martindale, the defensive coordinator, thinks that this kid has tremendous upside. Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator in Miami, they need some beef on the inside. Gave up too many yards after contact last year as far as run defense. He'll help that.
All right, so we are 13 picks into this draft, and as we bring our research producer extraordinaire, Evan Kaplan, into the conversation, these picks have had a very distinctly different feel.
And then Grant going 13. I did not see that at all.
The first 14 picks in the draft were all offensive players. That is the longest streak at any point in the common draft era. So far this year, through 13 picks, 9 offense, 5 defense. That adds up to 14. That's because Travis Hunter, we're counting on both sides of the ball, and only 1 QB so far in the first 13 picks tonight. We had 6 QBs through this point last year. We'll see where the next one goes off the board.
All right, the Indianapolis Colts have made their selection. That pick is in. We've been speculating about them taking a tight end all along, and there is one sitting right there for them. Let's see if that's the direction they go. Here's the commish.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Oh, they had to be doing a
Well,
draft room. This could not have fallen better.
give Anthony Richardson more weapons.
The best tight end in Penn State's rich football history. He won the Mackey Award as the nation's top tight end last year, catching 104 passes now in what proved to be a 16-game season for the Indy Lions.
He didn't have a lot of receptions going in the year because Theo Johnson was there. Became a New York Giant. Theo Johnson did. That opened up the opportunity for Tyler Warren to become a focal point in this offense. He was a chess piece. They were creatively utilizing him in a lot of ways. And he was a wildcat quarterback. He was a quarterback, left-handed quarterback, southpaw in high school. Great basketball player in high school. Contested catches go his way. He's got strong hands, excellent hand-eye coordination. He's a powerful young man. Running the football after the catch, run with that football. He's a fullback. He is a powerful guy. You can't tackle him. One guy cannot get him down. He'll catch it off the shoulder like he did with Lathan Ransom, the safety from Ohio State. Like I said, he came through his passes this year. Throwing passes, H-back, boom, tight end. He can do so many things as that versatile chess piece. That's why I thought he may have been a New York Jet. They pass on Bowers, and they pass on Warren for the O-lineman, and that allows a guy like Tyler Warren. After Loveland went a little earlier, Tyler Warren goes to the Colts, and a major need for them was tight end.
When you sit and you talk to this young man, Greeny, you just kind of go, it's just a flat-out football player. He's a flat-out athlete. He was a 3-sport player in high school. He played baseball. He played basketball. You see some of his basketball highlights. They're ridiculous. They're throwing alley-oops and stuff. So he's going up and getting the ball like this over top of people's heads. We got to talk to him a couple times this past year, man, and and then on top of it, he's so smart. The ways in which they use him, I mean, in Indianapolis, Shane Steichen's going to be like, hey, look, man, we can put this guy just about anywhere because he's just so smart, has so much mental horsepower, and so versatile. You're right. I mean, he fell right to him. And how cool is that if you're the Indianapolis Colts right now? You got maybe the best player at the position, and he fell right to you. He didn't have to do a thing.
This is just a listing of all the different places that he lined up over the course of his college career. By the way, the last time the Colts took a first-round tight end, worked out pretty well. It was Dallas Clark, who was an all-pro. And again, the celebrations are on in the hometowns tonight. Mechanicsville, Virginia, pardon me. And as they were celebrating in his home in Glen Allen, they were also celebrating at his high school. Congratulations, guys. You produced a first-round pick in the NFL draft. We'll be back in Green Bay in just a moment.
You're watching the 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by Marriott.
Hey, thanks so much for hosting, sweetie. I hear you found someone special. Yeah, he's a keeper. Is that dog food in the fridge? It's not dog food. It's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies for Peter. That's Peter.
Icky double chip.
Should have known.
Toshi.
You do make a pretty cute couple.
In this game, making the right move is hard. Unless you use Open Door to sell your home. And it's pretty easy.
Ashton, I need the bathroom.
Almost there, Mom. Open Door. Here for life's big moves.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower with Select Cut is the most powerful mower in its class, featuring an aluminum deck that allows for extreme blade speeds, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Designed for durability that's guaranteed for life. All powered by Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery. One battery powers all tools. Find an Ego retailer near you.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. You shared membership with your mom so she can share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
Bounty Mega Roll lasts longer, so you can tackle. Bounty Mega Roll is clean spills without running out. Bounty. Look at the shoes.
Like Loveland, he reminded me a lot of Porto. Obviously, Ben Johnson coming over from the Lions, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm not floored or shocked, but I am surprised that it's Loveland over.
So, I wonder, because I like more things like this after the match. Loveland is more traditional inline play. I think Ben Johnson like that.
And like the one thing that Ben did a lot with the Porto was they would put him by himself and then a traditional why by yourself, kind of by yourself, gather information, figure out where routes for him. Loveland did that a lot at Michigan.
He's like a legit route runner. Warren is more of like a
just he's tripping back. He's gonna go make this.
Feel like
I need you to trust me. One last time.
The drive-through. Have it your way.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The Atlanta Falcons on the clock with the 15th pick. Now let's look at your best available players, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. Shador Sanders, and this is looking like Aaron Rodgers. Could be Mike Fulmer Esiason back in 1984, slipped the second round. Think about Brett Favre as well. Geno Smith. This has happened before. Guess what? All those quarterbacks started out to be pretty doggone good. So for Shador Sanders, the key right now is 21 Pittsburgh. Against Pittsburgh, who was no get Shador Sanders, or they wait until he falls in their lap, right? That'll be interesting because guess what? He will come back to haunt some of these organizations and pass to him. Tell him that. The ESPN draft day predictor surprised, perhaps, that Shador Sanders hasn't been drafted yet. But not stunned. Maybe the bigger surprise is
that chain is ginormous.
Jalen Walker had, according to our predictions, less than a 1% chance still to be available here at the 15th selection.
Yeah, them going Michael Williams over Jalen Walker surprised me.
Would that be a pick that makes sense here? Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to Mel's graphic for a moment here if we can. We talk about quarterback sliding, and these have been some of those that you were talking.
Yeah, there's spatial my grades and all the mocks and everything. I was
Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Brady Quinn, your Notre Dame quarterback, disappointment. Look at all the hits. Aaron Rodgers, Gino, Chad Pennington dropped 18. He was expected to go a lot higher. Brett Favre, second round. Boomer Esiason, Bengals had 3 first-round picks to take forward. He went to the second round. Look how that turned out. Dan Marino dropped at the end of the first round. Cal Davis and Ken O'Brien went ahead of him. So it worked out really good for 6 of the 8 quarterbacks that slid to where they were ranked. We're waiting on Will Levis.
It's all about where he gets drafted at the end of the day.
For 2 years, guys, okay? I'll wait on Will. Maybe Will is one on that list. It will be. We'll see how it works out. But 6 of the 8 that slid, yeah, so I think Shador Sanders will as well.
But it's always important to the players when they go because you want to get drafted.
Tim Hardaway just choked.
You know, there's some satisfaction that comes with that, but where you go ultimately is what matters even more. And he just needs to get to the right place now.
And what we're showing here is a look at the uniqueness of Lambeau Field and Green Bay. This is just across the street. These are just people in their homes celebrating and enjoying themselves here in the shadow of Lambeau Field. It's one of the things that makes this place so extraordinarily special. Lambeau Field, which will this season be hosting the 69th consecutive season of Packers football, making it the longest continuously used stadium in the National Football League. So a special place to hold this extraordinary event. So the Atlanta Falcons, again, a team that has struggled on defense, struggled for pass rush. One of the few teams that has used all of its allotted time so far to give us all an opportunity to catch our breath. But I'm told that Roger Goodell has the pick in hand and is making his way to the stage now. So the Falcons will announce their selection here. It will be Atlanta, then the Arizona Cardinals on the clock after them, then Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Denver rounding out the top 20. Here's the commissioner with the Falcons selection.
I'm thinking Jalen Walker is the pick. They need defense badly.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker.
Yeah, they need pass rush. That's a good pick. They need pass rush. Georgia guy.
61 tackles and 6.5 sacks for the Bulldogs as they won the SEC. He was a 5-star and a Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school in North Carolina.
They say Jalen Walker. That allows him to slide down here. Jalen Walker led the Georgia Bulldogs in tackles for loss of 10.5 and sacks for 6.5. He was all ball as well, getting after it. He was coming off that edge. And with Atlanta, they need an edge rusher. For Jalen Walker, this guy is heavy hands. He chokes an opponent back. He's quick to triggers, an off-ball linebacker. Physical taking on blocks. This kid, number 11, in every game Georgia played this year, guys, top.
Interesting, Bill. He's an off-the-ball linebacker, but the best thing he does is rush on the edge. Very, very similar to a linebacker that plays for the Cowboys named Michael Parsons. His ability to line up in multiple positions and wreak havoc on the quarterback. He can play off the ball, he can play on the ball, but he was absolutely dynamite coming off the edge. Just ask the Texas Longhorns. They could not do anything with him. You're going to buck with a tight end, a guard, a tackle. It does not matter. Heavy hand and an undersized rusher to it for me.
His arms look a lot shorter.
James Harris. I'm not concerned about this, but that he's only 6'1". We saw James Harrison at 6'1" play outside linebacker for the Steelers.
His arms look very short. 6'1". Okay, I can see why he slipped. The size and the arm length.
Not a whole lot of technique involved with him. He just played so hard and he's so explosive that you can see through his core with his hand, and he never gives up. Effort sacks are something that they're not effort sacks to him. They're just normal. That's just the way he plays. It'll be interesting to see what Raheem Morris does with him and where he plays with him. He does play all over the place. 2-point, hand down, off the ball, spy guy. I said in my notes, I said, this guy's going to be a hell of a blitzer. I pity any running back who wants to step up in the A-gap and take on this dude. Because I'll tell you, you better have a strong neck. And you better be able to play low, because this dude is coming now, and he comes with a lot of fury. I'm looking forward to see what they do with it in order to get the pass rush they need.
Well, I tell you to that point, if at first you don't succeed, just keep trying and trying to get it. The Falcons have been trying to fix that pass rush since Big Beast. This is another effort for Raheem Morris and his team trying to fix this pass rush. Hopefully it works for him this time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that Mike Green was still on the board for Marshall, who's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what. Yes.
Man, why'd you have to say his name? Now you just jinxed it.
Easily in 2015, and will continue from Green Bay in 30 seconds after this word from Thrivent.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we care about. At Thrivent, we help you plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because the most important thing isn't what you plan for, it's who.
Gosh.
Where money means more.
All right, and so we continue here live from Green Bay, where the Atlanta Falcons have just made Jalen Walker from Georgia the 15th pick in the draft. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock now. They will select next, and Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Denver will round out the top 20 picks before we get to Pittsburgh at number 21. And that's the next spot where we might expect to see a quarterback. Now, how about Arizona?
From Wallace. Super kick from Jake Block. Cena. Superman punch. Stop. The shield of back in rhythm. Stop. The Alliance is back on. A Roman Reigns. And Seth
a young defensive tackle, or do they go corner, safety like Barron, or Will Johnson, or help out wide receiver to Kyler Murray, Eddie Matthews?
Well, that's what I was going to say. You talk about helping a young quarterback. It doesn't necessarily need to be wide receiver. It can help with an offensive tackle also to protect them up front. That seems to be the thing. It's helping these young quarterbacks. Look what they did in Carolina. They went down to help the young quarterback. Look what they did in Chicago. Went got him a tight end. You got to help him, whether with some weapons on the outside or protection up front.
Yeah, look, Donovan Gadden, the head coach down there, former defensive coordinator, basically runs the defense. They just can't rush the passer very well down there. They need some juice on the edge. They need some juice on the inside. Look, they got one time Josh Sweat from free agency. Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles, who wound up carrying it up in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. And you're right, they still do want to see wide receivers.
And they drafted one, obviously, last year high in the draft, and Marvin Harrison Jr. had something of an up-and-down season in his first year there with Arizona and their quarterback, Kyler Murray. So the Cardinals pitch is again, and the commissioner is making his way to the stage for the announcement of the Cardinals at 16.
With the 16th pick, the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive.
Okay. I mean, he's pretty talented. 298. He's gonna have to get his weight up though.
Two colleges, first at Texas A&M, then an outstanding season at Ole Miss with 6.5 sacks, where he was a consensus All-American and a finalist for the Outland Trophy.
Their production this year was not the problem. He had as many tackles for loss and sacks just one season as Mason Graham. So we really like had in 2 seasons combined. So for Walter Nolan, the talent, I like the versatility, guys. You can move him around.
Walter Nolan, that's a good pick.
Calais Campbell back in Arizona to mentor Walter Nolan. So I think from the standpoint of developing a young player, teaching him right, making him understand what it takes to be a professional football player.
Damn, boy, you crying more than him.
And I think the Calais Campbell part is really necessary because Walter Nolan can be as good as he wants to be. He can be Dominic Greedy. He has multiple position versatility, but I line him up in 3 techniques because a guy like this has to get vertical, that can hit gaps and get to the quarterback. When you pick a defensive tackle this high, you're expecting impact play, not just tackles for losses.
6'3", 296.
He's the twitchiest defensive tackle in the draft. He's got that He can get upfield.
He said he got that
and get to the quarterback. My only problem is I didn't see it consistently enough. He was a 5-star. He was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school. He's been the guy for a long time. He's worn that burden. So now, as he takes it to the next level, he can get the prize out of it, he can get the sacks, he can get the production. That's what I want to see.
That was the thing, right? And I hate saying consistency when it comes to players, right? Because not every player does it all the time. You just want to see that let the pendulum swings to them being much more on than they're off. Walter, when he's on, when you talk about taking gaps, playing on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage, when they move him on stunts and he's slanting and they're running TTs inside getting back, he is disruptive as heck. But then, he'll just disappear and he'll get someone blocked and he's not taking the ball. If he can just smooth that out, they got a heck of a player.
Booger, you said it. ESPN ranked him the #1 recruit in the country coming out of high school in 2022. And now after an outstanding season at Ole Miss, he's an Arizona Cardinal. The celebration is on with the family, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's team on the clock. We'll hear from them after this from Green Bay.
Bro, all the players that I want, well, 4 of the players, really 3, because the 5th one I don't really want. I just say that because of Jair Alexander, but like 3 of the players are still there.
Players, that's family. Every move, every sacrifice, every step along the way. See, the spotlight may fall on me, but I pour all that light into them. Because it's never been about me. It's always been about family.
Being Courtside's official fan ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long. See you on game day.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV? It's like all their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Those movie sports cooking shows?
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Mind control.
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I, for one, am intrigued. Looking for a reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McFarland.
Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal with new McFarland. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak going for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In-store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
Dak is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist.
If you can see how all of this fits together, we might have a chance.
Final destination, Bloodlines, May 16, rated R. Turn the off-season on again. With the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
The Copa del Rey final in El Clasico on ESPN Plus. A throne to play. Legacies to defend.
There's a goal that we're looking for.
History to be made.
And then Mbappe surveying the job. Party ready for Real Madrid.
Waiting for the world watches.
And that is a game
The Copa del Rey final exclusively on ESPN Plus and ESPN Deportes. Welcome back to the 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Courtside by
Welcome back to the 2025 draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we are now on pick 17. The Cincinnati Bengals, a team that lost Sam Hubbard, a defensive end, to retirement this season. They're still talking to Trey Hendrickson about a new contract, but the two sides still have not gotten close to a deal. So in the interim, the Bengals are expected to look at the spot for more pass rush help.
Meaning they're going Mike Green, which sucks because I like Mike Green. I didn't put him in my top 5 because I just assume he's going to get selected. They definitely need some type of pass rush. It could be interior defensive line. It could be pass rush, edge rusher. They need somebody in that defensive line.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart? What? No, what? Shamar Stewart?
The athleticism off the charts, but Mel, we've talked about it throughout this draft process. Just 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons at College Station. So it's a difference between the traits and the production. Problem is, Greeny, some AOGs block the LTP. That's AOGs, another occupation guy, right? The guys will not be playing professional football. Utilize and handle Shamar Stewart. 1.5 sacks the last 3 years. That's 4.5 for his career.
They going physical traits.
College offensive lineman. Now, you want to say, boy, he's a Neil Hunter? Good Ethan. Neil Hunter has 4.5 career sacks, 1.5 hits last year at LSU. He's got 99.5 sacks. He averages 11 sacks.
I don't know if this is a good spot for him to go to the Bengals. I don't know. I don't know if he's the right player for the Bengals. If he would have went to like the Niners or maybe the Bears, but
Mercedes in a pickup truck because I like to drive fast. At least I know I can go fast in a Mercedes. And it's up to the defensive line coach to get the best out of him because you can take this young man with the traits that he has and his speed. He has the potential to be a double-digit sack guy in the National Football League. A lot of disruption, not a lot of production, but the tools are there. Mike Tomlin has a saying: if the guy didn't need coaching, I wouldn't have a job.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's what the NFL is about. I love this chick for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I just wonder how this is going to impact Trey Hendrickson.
He's a project. He's a project. They're gonna have to really develop him.
Think of some of the players that he played with. We have other guys you can sit and watch. Like, it's not just going to be on their new defensive coordinator, Al Golden. He can't just be the one who's going to teach this young man how to pass rush. There's got to be people in the locker room that are going to help him as well. He plays hard as hell. I mean, hard. They move him from a 9 technique outside the tackle. They'll put him over the nose. And he can collapse the pocket, but he just doesn't have a plan.
Horizon Business takes us back to the stage. Molly is with Shamar. Molly.
Thanks, Greeny. Shamar, scouts and GMs all rave about your physical gifts. You have a longer wingspan than LeBron James. How were you built to play in this league?
Man, I'm built for it. I'm made for it. My hard body. I'm made for this. I'm ready.
The Bengals' new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, known for his aggressive style. How can he bring out the best in you?
Man, there's something going straight line. I'll figure everything else out.
All right, well, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow's jobs just got a little bit harder in the AFC North. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rainey.
Molly, thank you very much. Shamar Stewart, again, the magnificent physical talent, the production that hasn't always lined up to it, but a player we did expect to hear his name early tonight. Mike Green still on the board. A lot of pass rushers in this draft. It was interesting to see in which order they would fall, and now they are starting to do just that. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, followed by Tampa.
Damn, they might go Matthew Golden.
15 seconds after this word from
Seattle might go Matthew Golden on this. No, well.
Your personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold. Because the most important thing is
Undersized wide receiver. But they go Matthew Golden. They need offensive line help.
Seahawks are on the clock in an interesting offseason.
They need offensive line help.
After they send away Geno Smith and they sign up Sam Darnold. So
they also need a running back. Well, then, no, not really. I take that back. I take that back. They don't really need a running back.
About the interior of the offensive line. If Tyler Booker is gone, and there's other guys that are available. I think we talked about versatility, Bud and Lou, and that's where Greg Zabel, North Dakota State.
Yep, offensive lineman. I knew it. Greg Zabel. Yeah, offensive lineman.
But the versatility, play every position on the offensive line. Practice at center at the Senior Bowl. Greg Zabel, I know he could have gone anywhere he wanted. He stayed at North Dakota State, loyal to that program, and he can play anywhere on that line, but he could be a Pro Bowl guard at the pro level.
Especially if they feel really good about their 2 tackles, those young tackles they taken in the draft, Charles Cross and Abraham Luke. If they feel really good about those tackles, then I agree with Mel on attacking the
If
interior.
the Packers somehow are able to get Mike Green, I'm going to lose it. I am going to lose it if we can get Mike Green at 23.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel.
Yep. Okay. All right. Tampa Bay. Who Tampa Bay probably. I don't think they're not going to go wide receiver. They have Evans. They have Godwin. They have that other receiver. They could go Malachi Starks. They could go pass rusher. I'm assuming either safety. Oh, they could go corner. No corners. Jahdae Barron, Maxwell Harrison, Will Johnson. My guess, they're going corner. They're going corner.
Technique and the fiery approach. He's got a defensive mentality. Great Zabel, I know, down in Mobile, impressed a lot of offensive line coaches.
No doubt, especially with this play on the interior, center, and guard. You go back to 23, as you mentioned, and you watch him there where he started those games at left guard. He looked like a Pro Bowler. He looked like a guy who's going to be all rookie immediately, and he's going to challenge for a Pro Bowl spot. The arm length does show up the tackle for him. He doesn't have that kind of physical range to deal with some of the pass rushers he would deal with in the NFL. But at guard, he's plug and play.
So he's headed to Seattle. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be next. Congratulations to Gray Zabel and his family. Again, the Bucs are on the clock, then the Broncos, then the Steelers. When will we have our next quarterback selected? We'll find out shortly. We're live at Green Bay. We're back in a moment on ESPN.
Cleaning your dog's teeth can be hard. But not with Greenie's dental treats. Greenies, make health a treat. Also, try Greenie's dog food and toppers.
I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you.
All this waiting is just, oh my God.
This is a meal. Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic. Try the new croissant toast sandwiches. It just meals good at Panera.
Chime exists to help everyday Americans make it. When you build your credit to build yourself up, when payday comes on your terms, when your girl math starts mathing, oh yeah, you're making it. Success doesn't happen overnight, but as you progress, you start to feel it. See, when you're going after something big, hustling for something better, baby, you're making it.
Graduates, today you enter the real world, ready for whatever lies ahead, except for the following, which you are likely to find exceedingly difficult. Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, putting on a duvet cover, taking off a duvet cover, realizing you're never going to go to the gym. This guy knows what I'm talking about. In summary, life is hard, but saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh yeah, deciding what's for dinner every night. for the rest of your life.
With the first selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Alex Smith.
Forget the franchise. Aaron Rodgers will be solid. How far he drops is going to be the storyline of the day.
The Miami Dolphins select Ronnie Brown, Carnell Williams, and 12 roll.
And a week and a half ago, I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, and somebody's going to get themselves a heck of a steal.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers.
We're back in Green Bay, time now for a draft moment brought to you by Ego. So what were the possibilities that we would have Shedeur Sanders still on the board available as we arrive at the 19th pick, which is where we are now? Well, as you can see, it was about 50-50. He would be there at 13. The percentages continue to drop. We were
God, please select the pick.
Well, Green, we're not going to see Shedeur pick 19 or 20. The Buccaneers are sticking at 19. The Cardinals are sticking at number 20, and that would bring us to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. That is the pick that a lot of people have wondered whether the team would take it. He's got some support within the organization. Mike Tomlin is a fan of Shedeur Sanders. Our pick is a fan of Shedeur Sanders. But the Steelers also need help at defensive tackle, wide receiver, running back, some other positions. But if they don't take him, there's a real possibility Shedeur Sanders will be available Friday night. All right, Shefty, and there you saw Shedeur with his legendary father and longtime coach, Deion Sanders, been his coach all through his life. But the Buccaneers are on the clock right now, and here comes the commissioner with the 19th.
I'm thinking they're going corner on this one.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka.
What? Emeka Egbuka over Matthew Golden? What?
Into the NFL, even the last handful of years, consider Emeka Egbuka as the school's all-time leading receiver, Mel. 205 catches over 4 seasons.
Yeah, the only thing who was slowed Emeka Egbuka down was that left ankle injury in 2023. Missed 3 games mid-season, came back at 41 catches. Prior to that, he had 74 catches for 15-6 average and 10 touchdowns. This past year, 81 catches, 12-5 average, and 10 touchdowns. I'm calling him a professional receiver. You know what you're getting with Emeka Egbuka. Once he ran that 4.47 40, that solidified him as a late first, maybe even a mid-first, but Emeka Egbuka running under 4.5 with the kind of production and versatility and the approach, that workman-like business professional approach is how he became a first-round draft pick. Think about where Emeka plays primarily, right in the slot. You guys can also win outside. Real tough inside to make contested catches straight in the middle of the field. Who does that for Tampa Bay? Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin coming off of a very, very significant injury. This makes you wonder. They must be concerned a little bit about what's going on with Chris Godwin and maybe his availability, who knows, for 2025. Because this is not for certain. Mike Evans getting a little bit older. This is a little bit of a curveball to pick. When you start trying to think about why this may have happened, you gotta have to start like following the breadcrumbs.
It also makes you wonder if you're Tampa, who's going to rush the passer? Freeney, you said we were thinking defense.
Yes.
They need an edge rusher. They signed Hassan Reddick on a 1-year deal. They need more shoots coming off the edge in this Todd Bowles defense.
Emeka Egbuka, man, they need defense.
Everyone told me they were going to go defense, and then they did.
But again, this is not in any way a reflection on Emeka Egbuka, who is a terrific player that you see Todd Bowles, the coach of the Buccaneers. The Broncos are on the clock, and then the Steelers will pick next. It's been an intriguing night, and it's about to get all the more interesting. We're back in Green Bay in just a moment.
The 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Cougar by Marriott, is brought to you by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business today at progressive.com.
Mine was earned in Germany, 1984. I earned it for my family in 1945.
Mom earned it for us.
USAA membership is for those who served and can be shared with their spouses, then kids, and their kids for generations to come. And because our members know USAA's commitment to serving the military community, they're proud to start their family's legacy.
So I'm in, and so is our family.
USAA. See if you can become a member today. Members who switch save an average of $725 annually on auto insurance.
I was tired of being told no. No to my dreams.
I had no idea if anyone would buy anything. This is so wild that I actually, from a dream, started a business. Oh no. Is this yours?
Yeah.
No, yes, get it.
There's nothing like that first Mercedes feeling. Experience the feeling yourself at a local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Really?
Let's start paying attention to breast when it matters the most. Early detection for breast cancer is a game changer, and why I'm able to be here today. So let's get more women screened than ever before at yourattentionplease.com.
It's a rare thing when someone you've been with for so long finds a way to surprise you. It's like discovering E-Trade's easy-use platform now comes with the power of Morgan Stanley.
We can speak wireless.
This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This stuff works on big lawns, small lawns, and I guess you can call that a lawn lawns. This stuff works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronxville, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works. The season continues in Miami, Sunday, May 4th on ABC, the exclusive home on F1.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The Denver Broncos are on the clock at number 20, and right now it's time for a look at Mel's best available, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott.
They got some good ones. Shador, I'm amazed right now that he's still on the board after I was with Aaron Rodgers. New Orleans, hey, I'm going to wait and see who makes a move to get short sales before I start talking about those organizations that will punt them. Will Johnson, we don't expect the injuries. That is affected where he went. Good corner. Had he been healthy through the process, would have been a top 10 to 15 pick. I love Amari and Hampton for Denver. I'm sitting for 3 months. They need a running back who's complete. He is the help out foe next. Josh Simmons was the best tackle before he got hurt in October. In that game against Oregon, that's why he's still available. Right tackle, left tackle, could play guard as well. And I'm surprised Matthew Gold. For the Hills have 2 really good years at Houston with the Cougars. That's the goal. That they need and everything. In Texas got open, caught the ball, and then ran great. I'm really surprised Gold is still here. This one is right.
Interesting, he's one in some ways. He had the enormous trade at the very beginning. Moving up from 5 to 2, but that's the biggest trade we've had so far in round 1. And I'll mention again that he was the most round in the common draft era with 3. And that goes back to 1971 is the most recent time. So we generally had a lot more than that. The Broncos, whose income for
Rookie simply victory, surveying the situation, realizing Sheamus has been neutralized for the moment.
It's the NFL is proud to support the legacy. Yes. One of those listening true. 16 is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has raised up double cancer.
soon announced the first round draft pick for his favorite team.
Dragunov, not
Please join me in
stopping yet.
cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Okay. Most of my drafts have them drafting a running back, Omarion Hampton, but I guess pair alongside Patrick Surtain. That's a good duo. It's a good cornerback tandem.
Receptions on the team. Texas Longhorns ran great in the combine and needed to match the goals up and thought about the 4.29. I thought today Barron running a 4.39 with somebody run 4.45 to 4.5 at 5'11", 195 pounds. Plays everywhere in that secondary for Texas. Super smart and quick, intercepts passes. I talked about it. Doesn't miss many tackles at all. He had 67 tackles, 5 interceptions, 11 pass breakups. This is his year. Today Barron did. Short tackler, instinctive, versatile guy. He played anywhere in the deep patrol.
Yeah, this is another guy that Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, just raved about. He raves about Barron because of the fact that he's a great locker room guy. He's a guy who can fit in with everyone. He's kind of the spokesman for the team. He kind of settles everyone down. And as far as on the football field, you're right, he's super versatile. Can play inside and outside, has great instincts, great vision, route development, understanding, and the willingness to come up and hit, play strong at the checkpoint. That's what Vance Joseph's going to want out there in Denver, where they play some pretty good defense. Him and Patrick Surtain II, that's a pretty good group of corners right now when you're talking about the Denver Broncos.
And if you start to look at it, he's a faster version of what Brian Branch does for the Detroit Lions. A multiple position player that can play inside, outside, that can play in the middle of the field. He can do it all, kind of a joker on defense. He will be used very well in Denver.
Yeah. All right, and so now we get to the Steelers at 21, and this is a spot that obviously we have had circled for quite some time. Adam Schefter, what did you tell us?
Well, bringing one of the most intriguing spots in the draft, Shedeur Sanders is still on the board right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers still are awaiting an answer from Aaron Rodgers. One person in the league said they wondered how that combination, Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, man.
and Shedeur Sanders could go along if the Steelers right
Forget
now.
Aaron Rodgers. Get your quarterback of the future. Ooh.
This will be an organizational decision. If they take Shedeur, he has a new home. If they don't, then we have entered into a really intriguing part of the draft where Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart are alive. And interestingly, the belief around the league is that the Saints and the Giants both really like Jackson Dart.
So, Shefty, there's an irony in all of this, Mel, if you keep making the comparison.
4 of my guys are still on the board. Yo.
Pittsburgh's decision as they make this pick here at 21, but we're waiting to see if
Bro, I better not see the Packers draft a cornerback over Donovan Izaraku, Mike Green, Matthew Golden, and Derek Harmon. I swear to you, if they draft a corner over those dudes, I'm going to lose it. Because we've lost the plot. There's literally the top 2 sack guys in college are still on the board. And then you have one of the top 3 best interior defensive linemen is still on the board. And arguably the best wide receiver is still on the board. Like, I would be shocked if they don't draft one of those guys. I would be so shocked.
Shedeur Sanders, the pass on him at this stage at that 21 book. Come on. All right, I'm told that the pick is in. The commissioner's making his way to the stage. Will this be the moment that we hear the second quarterback's name, or will the drop? Here comes Roger Goodell.
Just draft Shedeur, man. Just draft Shedeur.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon.
Oh my gosh! What? Oh my gosh! Shedeur is going. He's not getting drafted in the first round. Wow! Are you serious? Oh Oh my gosh, Derek Harmon was projected to go to the Steelers, but man, I've heard some Shador. Wow. Damn, one of my guys is off the board now. Bro, if the Chargers, please select Omarion Hampton. Please. Just draft a running back. You need a running back.
Plays a little high, but he is a guy can learn from Cam Hayward. Plus, man, will they wait? That position, that deep, and having a guy that can be maybe the heir apparent to Cam Hayward against the quarterback.
That dude's a dog. That dude's a dog. I would have loved him on the Packers. He's a dog.
You talk about Cam Hayward getting a little long on his feet. This is something that Pittsburgh doesn't have, which is interior pass rush. You mentioned he led all defensive tackles as far as pass rush pressures from the inside. And when you look at Keanu Benton, they took out of Wisconsin. He's played well, but getting to the passer hasn't been his forte. This is an opportunity to fortify the defensive front. Again, pass on the quarterback, fortify the defensive front with TJ Watt. I like what the Steelers are doing. You just wonder, without Aaron Rodgers, who's going to play the quarterback position for them?
That's a great question. We don't know right now. This will be Vincent Rudolph.
One wonders if they know. And by the way, the Steelers' last first-round defensive lineman was Cam Hayward, whom they selected 31st in 2011. So there's the celebration in the Steelers draft room. The question is, when will the next quarterback come off the board? Come on back and find out. The Chargers are on the clock. We're back in Green Bay in just a moment.
Being Courtyard's official fan ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long.
Wait, what?
See you on game day.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You heard this, so hold it high. But that remarkable fighter.
Order a 10-piece McNuggets meal with spicy Netherflame sauce. And unlock epic add-ons in Minecraft only when you order on the McDonald's app. Let's build.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
There again. Hey, Jake the State Farm. I say so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Oh!
Selecting. I'm shocked. Tenaroa McMillan for wide receiver. Ridiculous.
No, just another way to say it with a personal password.
How you feeling right now?
State Farm is there.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower, the most powerful mower in its class, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Find an Ego retailer near you.
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's Breakfast Faves combo is now just $6, featuring IHOP's world-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6. Part of the new $6 House Faves menu.
Verizon Small Business Days are back. Our experts
Welcome in.
closer than you think. Serving up deals, advice, and more.
Hey, hi.
April 21st to 27th.
Let's take a look.
Get started today.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost. Man, looking for a one. I'm looking for a one. Could you put me aisle 27? Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app. Welcome back to Courtside.
When I look in the mirror, every single time I see exactly what I am, exactly who I am. And that's the person that my father, my mother, my wife, my children,
I'll be the last man standing. Former Fire hits the drop a little bit. So running back out of 15, 18 here. John Simmons would have been a top 5, top 10 deck had not been for an injury. Technically, he should be ready to go for training camp. There's Patrick Goals. He would fit what the Chargers are looking for as well. To catches for football, has great speed, but at 14 times. The Chargers needs right now, interior offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, but not stop the run. 27th in per carry average allow legs. There isn't any question, however, this has become now the story of the night. Shador Sanders, according to our draft day predictor, there was a 96% chance that he would be selected in the first 21 picks entering this draft, 21 being the operative number with the Steelers. So we are now in that zone where we wait to see if any team chooses to trade up from the second round to make the aggressive. Yeah, we always act like we're the 6th round of the draft right now. Short hitters haven't been picked. And we're still where Lamar Jackson wasn't taken. And last time I checked the ball already, from being the first 25-year-old tight end at the time out of South Carolina tight end. And then they traded back into 32 to take Lamar Jackson, clear it and pack it up at the end of day 1 and get ready for day 2, right? There's Lamar Jackson. That missed of the pocket pass. Johnny Unitas, cut by the Steelers, passed over, right? Nobody won. Dan Marino passed over for Cal Davis and Ken O'Brien, right? Joe Montana went in the 3rd round. Herb Warner, undrafted free agent. Peyton Manning didn't like Ryan Leaf over Phil Foley to take him number 1 overall. Matt Ryan, Dick Long went ahead of Matt Ryan. He took him so far something for Jay Hennings over Matt Ryan. How'd that work out, right? Drew Brees, 2nd round. Roger said Miami didn't take him. Go see 4th round pick. They're all traditional drop back pocket passes. I didn't mention the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, 6th round pick. So just think about that. The NFL didn't like them back when Johnny Unitas came out of Louisville. They didn't like them now. Now they get turned 9 out of 10 times by Pippen when he got. I don't know if it's that the NFL doesn't like them. I think the NFL is saying that those quarterbacks, they do actually good centers. They don't do anything special. So we talked about earlier in the show about people getting wild with the all-platform throws and all these different things. Shador Sanders plays point guard in the pocket. If maybe they're not good in the first round, but you know what?
Super happy for him. The Raiders averaged 3.4 yards in the carry last year. So we're switching to 1996. Well, he's a very good player. Putting him behind skill and very poor offensive line. Very much so.
They say exactly what we said in your own eyes.
So you're sitting there going, you better fix your offensive line.
That's what they say.
It's very fast.
Shador has made great decisions in the pocket, outside the pocket. When he's getting his head knocked off, he's made great decisions. He throws the football with accuracy. The whole arm strength thing. How many times? He's a nice passer of the football. He just
know that Rodgers
we'll just cut that. I'm going to look at the team perspective, right?
No 2nd round picks. I thought
every team likes your team. Teams like players no matter what price they want to pay. Right? So they figure for him, we're looking at what judging the landscape right now. We don't need to pay team prices top. We may not even need to pay for prices $59.
It's just a question mark.
They're taking a gamble. The team who need a quarterback, and if you pass on him, and he winds up having a Drew Brees type of career, a Tom Brady type of career, he winds up, which he's totally capable of. You're going to sit back into the team, there's going to be a lot of revisionist history on you. I get that. There's going to be a lot of case studies done on why did people pass on him? Was it because they thought he was cocky? Was it because of his dad? Was it because he was too trash? All the other nonsense that you hear. So it isn't because of how he plays the game. I agree with you. It's not how he plays the game.
All right, we have only had one quarterback selected. We have only had one trade made. If Shador Sanders was going to get drafted here, it would have to be a trade because Justin Herbert is going to be the quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers. So I said that facetiously. Obviously, this isn't going to be the spot. So the Chargers are on the clock here. Then we will have the hometown Green Bay Packers. So no doubt we'll get a jolt from this crowd. You see Jim Harbaugh's team has made its selection. Here's Roger Goodell.
Please select Marion Hampton.
For the 22nd pick In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion.
Yes! Yes, they got it. They drafted a running back. Oh, my God. Yo. Oh, my gosh.
Last year, 30 touchdowns on the ground, and he added 67 catches as well.
Yeah, just turned 22 on March 16th. I thought he'd be a Denver Bronco. And he goes to the division. Now he can haunt the Broncos a little bit. To the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh wants to run the football. Obviously, he can stop the runs up, and they could do last year as well.
Let's go, man. Oh, my God. Bro. Oh, my gosh. Please. Please, Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, my guy. Matthew Golden. Bro, Jordan Love needs a receiver. All right.
Doesn't have the elusiveness of a Chinty and the ability there to make people miss the consistent pace.
Matthew Golden, man. He's right there. The X receiver that Jordan Love needs. Please, please, don't get me wrong. Pass rush is at a premium. But, man, bro, there's not going to be a better receiver than Matthew Golden.
As the National Football League is now taken to bringing the draft on the road, we will reach that moment that we look forward to every year. The home team is on the clock.
Come on, we're at home. We got to go for a splash. Come on. Don't play with me, Brian Gutekunst. Don't play with my time. Don't play with my time. I swear, if I hear Maxwell Harrison at pick 23, I'm going to lose it. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. If it's not Matthew Golden, Mike Green, Donovan Izuraku, those are the 3 picks. If it's not those 3 guys, you're playing with me.
Obviously, you know the wide receiver that had great luck in the second round, taking wide receivers, putting loose. So I look at that quarterback spot. Will Johnson's the guy.
No, do not draft Will Johnson.
Not banged up. Will Johnson's the top 10 pick. So when does Will Johnson get the score? Will Johnson, the guy who's projected.
Don't draft Will Johnson. No.
But as a quarter, he can anticipate the breaking the ball. 9 career receptions, 3 career pick sixes. I'm going to be interested to see how far Will Johnson's up. Yeah, it's all about how comfortable teams are with the benefit of Will Johnson. That's what it's going to be. And there's going to be some questions about it. He's in that area right now where you start going, the teams that need a corner, a guy like this, a guy who, again, Wade Martindale, who coached him up there.
Don't do it. Do not do it. Pass rush, wide receiver. Don't fall in love with these corners. Don't draft a corner, please. Please, I am begging you, Brian Gutekunst, don't draft a corner or a safety, no DB, Mike Green, Donovan Izuraku, Matthew Golden. Those 3 guys.
Yeah, an underrated guy we haven't even discussed yet. It's going to go in the late first, early second. It's Donovan Izuraku. All this kid does is get after the quarterback. He was a sack machine, and he plays hard. Now, he's 247 pounds.
Donovan Izuraku, Mike Green, Matthew Golden, please, please, please.
But again, it's about trust. It's about how comfortable are you. But there's no reason James Pierce should be on the board right now. When you watch this tape, there's no reason he should be on the board. But you're getting into that area of the draft, Randy, where teams have some questions, right? And so now you're sitting there going, hey, there's the value too good to pass up. Because there are some darn good football players still on the board right now. They're going to play really good football this fall. As you told me, it's about mitigating risk. That's right. That's right. It's about mitigating risk. It's the
out based on what you know. That's your point. You talk about Ed Rock, talk about Mike Green, all those guys have to be the football players. Which one do you think you can mitigate the big one? I'll tell you what, as a Rock, there's no risk as far as the person. I'm sure. I mean, Harris is like, does he have ideal measures? But as far as the team is concerned, we were fortunate to go off without the times to school with college football.
Izaraku, Mike Green, Matthew Golden. I want Matthew Golden. Give Jordan Love a weapon. Please give Jordan Love a weapon.
Show and Carson Schwarzenegger. Hutchins off ball was everywhere making best instincts in the draft. And Oladipo show when they moved them off ball outside was the quarterback. So those are two UCLA Bruins going to be really good late one, early two.
So all the speculation here at this desk has been about defense. I've had a lot of Packer fans come up to me this week and say, "Will we ever take a wide receiver in the first?" Matthew Golden's still on the board now.
I've said his name about 5 times already with that. Matthew Golden to me, I think they won 1 year of production. I thought at Houston, for what they raised him to do for 2 years, he did a solid job. And then this year was supposed to be Isaiah Bond. It was Matthew Golden. Then Matthew Golden ran a 4.29. I don't know what else he needed to do. Yeah, you'd like to see 2 years in Texas, but he only had 1 season, and he kept it all, and then he ran great. Matthew Golden here, are you kidding me, in the late first round? He's Nolan already went, and the book already went.
But Steve Sarkisian, look, he's such a great guy to talk to and get insight about his players and about why they developed the way they did. But he says it about Matthew Golden. It took him some time when he got him in order to kind of get him comfortable in his offense. And he wound up taking over a role that many people thought was going to be Isaiah Bond. And he said, look, this guy will do it exactly the way you asked him to. But the reason why he ran so fast, he said, I promise you, he worked at it.
Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. Oh, please don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. Please. Packers at pick 23 right now. It is 10:42 p.m. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Please, Ryan Gutekunst. Let me I'm turning my television, turn my iPhone upside down. I'm so nervous, man. Please, please, go Matthew Golden. Go Matthew Golden, please, bro. Give Jordan Love a weapon. We lost Christian Watson, man. I'm tired of drafting receivers in the second round. We have arguably the best receiver going to 23, man. Come on.
Finishing as the number 1 seed in the NFC, falling short in that playoff run as well. So the Packer fans here dancing and singing and waiting to hear where they go.
Damn, that crowd looks crazy. Please get 23. Oh, bro. Who was that? Oh, that's what's his name? Damn. Oh, I forgot his name.
Please give it up for first team.
Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Mark Murphy, yeah.
President and CEO, Mark Murphy.
Please. Come on, wide receiver. Please. God, please. Don't go corner. Please give Jordan Love some help, please.
Wisconsin and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community.
Just pick.
Particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, yes.
Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners?
Okay, yes, we understand.
We also have the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002.
Oh! We go!
The wide receiver.
Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God! Oh! What did I tell you? Let's go, Packers! Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! What did I tell you? Let's go! What? Woo! Let's go! Yeah! Hey! Let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Yes! Yes!
For so many reasons, there is no other team in professional sports quite like the Green Bay Packers, and Mark Marford did a great job of explaining some of those, and so that was the kind of moment you practically cannot get anywhere else in sports. Matthew Golden is going to address the crowd. Let's hear what he says. Now, he went to the microphone, but perhaps not. Well, he'll address Molly instead.
It's time, baby. I am not going to bring the energy ready to be here. It's a blessing. Green Bay on 3. Hey, let me get a Green Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3.
How good is it? All right, Verizon Business to Molly, who is with the man of the moment. Molly.
Matthew, that was a warm welcome from your new fan base. What is it like to stand here in front of all these Packers fans?
Man, it's a blessing. I put in so much work to get here, and I got my family here, man. It means the most to me, man. I can't thank God enough.
At Texas, you stepped up big when the lights were brightest. How will you do that here in Green Bay?
That's what you should expect from me, man. I'm a reliable target, and I get open anywhere on the field, man. Whatever the team need me to do, that's what I'm willing to do. But I'm bringing that dog mentality, know that.
All right, welcome home.
Thank you.
Well, you mentioned the Combine's 4.29.
Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God, bro. The Packers finally did the impossible. We got the best receiver in the draft, dude. An ex-receiver that could play outside, inside, 4.29 speed, can run the route tree, can make contested catches. Look at this. Oh my God, bro. We don't have no receiver like that. Look at this.
a guy who
Look at this. Come on, right after the catch.
He's tough across the middle. He's quick out of his break. He sells the route. And I was impressed with the consistency.
Oh my God. I believe he got all the way to the 23. Oh my God. Look at this, man. Come on, bro. We don't, man, come on, bro. We don't have nobody like that. We don't have nobody like that, man. It's about time they listen. It's about time they listen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. It makes sense because there's so many edge rushers in this draft. There's so many interior defensive linemen. You can afford to draft a skill position early, and then second round rolls around. They're still good edge rushers. They're still good interior defensive linemen. They're going to go a corner on this one. Or edge rusher. Well, they do need offensive linemen. I'm glad. Thank God they drafted offensive linemen and not a D-line. Damn, so what is Houston going to do? Houston could use a corner. They're probably going to go Will Johnson or Maxwell Harrison.
So Donovan Jackson goes to Minnesota, but I'm told to go. Adam Schefter has breaking news for us. Checking what can tell us. Brady, we said this would be the quarterback range, and the New York Giants have just traded back into the first round to pick number 25, which belonged to the Houston Texans. In return, they're giving up pick 34, pick number 99, and the third round pick in 2026. The Giants at 25 are on the clock. Look for a quarterback here. All right, here we go. So this is exactly what we were waiting for, Mel. The Giants getting their man at the top, Abdul Carter, not taking the quarterback there. If they turn it around and get the quarterback they're looking for here, this could turn out to be a magnificent night for the Giants.
Look, but discussed that Brian Dable likes Jackson Dart, quarterback Ole Miss. Everybody talking about number 3, way too high. He's 28, same grade as the 21st player on my board. So he's right in the range for Jackson Dart. I'm still sure, but more mobility. Certainly Jackson Dart, he can beat you with his leg. He had 1,500 rushing yards the last 3 years. So if you're looking for traits, Jackson Dart has a few more. You should do it on paper. I'm a sure guy. Love him. Jackson Dart I like. And I think as Brian Steadyball says, hey, he's my guy. Because he can move around and he can say, had those games where he could beat you with his leg, third pace, he can run. And he can run for 30 yards. Look at that. Okay, he can make the throw. 6'2", 223 pounds, coming out of that Arsenal offense, late 50. So, hey, if you want to like the door. He's outstanding. I mean, he stands in that pocket and makes big time throws. I agree with you. Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback for me. Brian Dable seems to be leaning towards that. It's different for me was Shedeur came through in the clutch. When it mattered the most, in games late, he's taking it out of the field. Jackson Dart had some meltdown. That particularly the Florida game, a meltdown late in that loss.
All right, I'm going to take a very short timeout. We're going to come back. The New York Giants are on the clock. Adam Schefter has told us to expect a quarterback. Which one will it be? We will find out right after this, live in Green Bay, ESPN.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies. Like he's so much more than State Farm Barkley.
I'm also Stay Calm Barkley.
Oh man, shut my uniform. Whoever did.
Oh man, stress. I'll never remember all this. Relax, Rook. When things get intense, we get insults. What a nice cleansing surprise.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. This Memorial Day.
I'm not being able to drink that.
Someone starts.
No, Bob's on the table.
You sure that's it though?
Yeah.
Bruh.
No, I don't instead.
3 in this draft, taking Abdul Carter, the defensive end, out of Penn State. This was how many of the Giants fans definitely hoped the night would be.
Oh, man.
A little bit later in round 1, it appears that's what they have done. So we are
It's so good that we got a quarterback, man. I said quarterback. A wide receiver, man. Well, we do have a quarterback. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that was so great. I might have to rewind that moment again. That was... I cannot believe they actually did what we wanted. Oh, my God. I mean, I've... Oh, my God.
Wow. All right. You know the story. Legendary high school career in Utah, threw for 67 touchdowns. As a senior, he went to USC, started 3 games, then transferred to Ole Miss. Started 38 games for Lane Kiffin, threw 72 touchdowns. Finishes the school's all-time leading passer, surpassing Eli Manning. Mel, your reaction?
Well, I'm surprised he went into Shador, not shocked, because Daboll wants more mobility. And Jackson Dart can beat the defense with his legs. His completion percentage every year under Lane Kiffin improved. 62%, 65%, culminated with 69% this past year. Touchdowns went 20 to 23. 29 this past year, 11 rushing touchdowns the last 2 years, 1,500 rushing yards the last 3 years at Ole Miss. Now, the concern for me, and the reason I'm a Shador guy, is in the big spot. You come up big. For Jackson Dart, 2 games where Ole Miss faced a net-ranked opponent, LSU and Georgia, he completed less than 60% of his passes, and in each game combined for 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Then they were looking for a playoff spot in late November. He completed less than 60% of his passes.
I didn't know he played for USC.
2 interceptions, and that late meltdown against Florida. So 3 big spots didn't come up big. Shador consistent.
He looks like Zach Wilson.
I like Jackson Dart. I love
Oh, my
Shador.
God.
We'll see how it works out. Keep in mind,
Bro.
the quarterbacks that have dropped a little bit. How about the quarterbacks went ahead of them? Brett Favre, Dan McGuire, Todd Marinovich went ahead of Brett Favre. Joe Montana, Jack Thompson, Steve Fuller went ahead of Joe Montana. DJ Manuel went ahead of Geno Smith. The 3 players were drafted by the Bengals before they took Boomer aside.
He got the arm, but it's like, does he have the... Can he throw from the pocket consistently?
I still believe, I'm going to say it, well, I'm proven wrong if this, the New Orleans Saints are the perfect fit. Because Pittsburgh's weather, right? The Giants are weather, and the division's weather. And for Shador, like Drew Brees, is Peyton Manning, that dome would help him so much to give him a chance to be the great career that he's certainly capable of.
I think Jackson is very, very well respected down in Austin. Being a great teammate, he's tough as hell. Another kid who I was fortunate enough to call 3 of his games over the past couple of years. He's got a big arm. He is
A lot of these teams are going off of like unteachable traits over. Can the quarterback just flat out throw the football, make NFL throws? Because what I've heard from Jackson Dart is he's nowhere near the pocket passer. He's nowhere near the pocket passer of a Shador Sanders.
Why? Because he has some of the same traits that Josh Allen had in Buffalo. That mobility, the dual threat ability, the big arm to get the ball down the field. The
People are going to get fired thinking that this guy is Josh Allen.
That's why Jackson Dart of Ole Miss is here and will be a New York Giant, Greeny.
This is a mistake. It's a mistake. That's why Daboll wasn't smiling. He probably is thinking to himself like, this is a huge mistake.
Whether it's tonight or tomorrow, the Giants have made this decision, and we will take a look at the history of first-round quarterbacks in New York Giants history. They drafted Phil Simms in 1979 out of Morehead State, won them a Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers, we know, was not a Giant. He wound up being traded just an hour or so after the pick was made for Eli Manning. They took Daniel Jones a few years ago. We saw that not work out as they would have liked. And now Jackson Dart, the 25th pick in this draft of the New York Giants. Quick thought now is the Falcons will be making a pick tonight. So they to see how quickly he gets on the field. Now, coming out of the RPO offense, you got
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Maybe there's something wrong about me because when I watched college football last year, the best quarterback in college football was Shedeur Sanders. I understand Cam Ward going one because he has the unteachable traits and his skill set is comparable to Shedeur, but like, dog, I'm thinking Mike Green. I'm thinking cornerback. What? James Pierce Jr. What? What? Whoa.
This is an interesting trade. The Falcons get back this first round pick to take James Pierce and a third round pick. But in return, the Rams get a second round pick this year and a first round pick in 2026, along with a seventh round pick this year. So this year, where all teams held their initial first round draft picks coming into the draft, next year, the Cleveland Browns already have the Jaguars' first-round pick from one trade today, and the Rams now have the Falcons' first-round pick next year for this trade. So we only had one trade in the early portion of the night. Now we've had back-to-back picks that get moved. As far as James Pierce is concerned, first-team All-SEC each of the last 2 years now, racking up 17 sacks.
Look, I got to see this guy. I'm telling you, this dude has the most potential of any pass rusher in this draft. Like outside of Abdul Carter, all right? He could be the next best pass rusher in this draft without a doubt. At 6'5", 245 pounds, 4'4".
He's immensely talented. His
body type wise of Javon Curse when he came out of Florida. He could go speed the power as well as anybody.
He's immensely talented. It's just about, does he love football and is off the field stuff.
When he wants to slant down inside on run stunts, he blows up everything. Everything. He'll track down balls one side of the field to the other. The question with James is this: consistency. Can you get it out of him all the time? Can you count on him? Can you depend on him? Is he always going to be there? Is he always going to answer the bell? Because if he does, Atlanta finally has the rusher that they've been looking for.
I don't know if the Atlanta Falcons is a good spot for him. He need to go to like a Green Bay, Baltimore. I don't know. Falcons is a good place for him.
From Tennessee, but the big move made just moments ago, Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss, to the New York Giants, who had taken Abdul Carter earlier in the night. So the Giants with
bro, the Ravens better not go Malachi Starks, bro. Get yourself a pass rusher. Donovan Izaraku, Mike Green are right there, bro.
Lowe's help build the 2025 NFL Draft Green Room. Visit Lowe's.com/NFL Draft now to recreate the look in your home. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
These are the voyages of the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
Krabby Patty, engage.
Hit it, Krabs. It's mission. Nautical nonsense. Where's Opposite Square Pants?
Your dream.
Perhaps it was your imagination.
Whether you like SpongeBob, Star Trek, or both, find your mountain of entertainment on Paramount Plus.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV?
I'm gonna-
All their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows.
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Mind control.
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I, for one, am intrigued.
Only getting isolated results. Big gains come from AI that works across all your data and applications. AI built for business.
IBM.
Oh my God.
The sweet sweet of a honeymoon in Fiji. Moisturized with vitamin B3.
You better not be using all the Old Spice.
Can you get my bag?
Check out the new whip. I fully custom. How many Bud Lights can you fit in there, puppy? As many Bud Lights as it takes. A lot of Bud Lights. You want to give me one of those?
Yo, I can borrow pro in this. I can guard you and route you up. You sure about that?
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
No!
You're right, Billy. He's due bring on that.
Every shoe for every athlete.
Dixon's the go.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
You're nervous about the shot. The fruits behind your face. You might be seeing double, or you might be feeling the heat, and you might be cursing droughts, and you might be witnessing history, and you might be thinking, oh my God, the scent. Whatever it is, you're in it. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's the only thing that matters. The Stanley Cup playoffs, Monday on ESPN.
Welcome back to Green Bay and our coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft, which is presented by Courtside by Marriott, a member of Marriott Fineball. You see, the Packer fans are celebrating. They're having fun tonight as their team did something very characteristic, taking a wide receiver in the first round. Good action-packed last half hour or so here. Had a couple of trades. Giants traded up and took a quarterback in Jackson. Falcons traded up and took a pass rusher in James Pierce. Mel Kiper's Baltimore Ravens are on the clock here, and in fact, their kick is in very quickly before the commissioner mentioned now what are they?
A safety, and they got both safeties sitting there for Malachi Starks from Georgia and Nick Eamon from South Carolina. Starks didn't have a great year, but he was a heck of a football player throughout his career. I really like the football IQ in the
mentioned that with that.
27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks.
This is a consensus pick. Like everybody knew he was going to the Ravens.
Jefferson, Georgia, about a half hour from Athens, was a five-star. Became the Bulldogs starting free safety. Led the team in defensive snaps as a freshman on a national championship team. Finished with 6 interceptions.
They moved him around a lot, Green. He had 6'1", 197 pounds. So that's 4.50 now. But Nick Eamon, 4.38. Kind of pales in comparison. So Eamon had a 43 vertical. Malachi Starks had a 33 vertical. But football IQ, folks, and being able to tackle on all areas of the field, open field tackler, he's outstanding. His ball skills, the interception and the range he showed against Clemson was phenomenal. In that game, he had 5 career interceptions. He is just everybody. He's a good football player. He'll play that center field role for the Ravens.
Here's the thing I'll tell you, Quinn. He trained in Tampa with my buddy Joe Murphy. I got an opportunity to see him every day, see him work. You talk about football character, football instincts, showing up to work. There was video of him working out this morning before he gets drafted this afternoon. That's what you're getting in this safety in Baltimore. There's a sign in the facility that says play like a Raven. He will embody that coming from Georgia, being coached with the Kirby Smart. Don't worry about the tested numbers. His football instincts, his ability to be in center field while you have Kyle Hamilton down around the line of scrimmage, to be able to play the ball and make plays. What he lacks maybe in speed and athleticism, he makes up by being able to key and diagnose quickly. This is a true football player that has very high football character.
Yeah, he's a guy who seems like he would fit in Baltimore in some of their split safety stuff, right? Their cover 4 schemes, their cover 2 scheme, where there's a lot of pattern reading where you process quickly, get quick pattern matches. You're not kind of isolated one-on-one. When you got put in those kind of situations, that's where you see some of the top-end speed deficiency come in. And I don't mean deficiency, okay? He's 4'5". But I'm saying he doesn't have true man coverage skills down the field against wide receivers making him one-on-one. But he's a solid, steady player. That's a nice fit, Mel, with Kyle Hamilton.
Real nice fit. That see both these safeties drop down this far. And of course, offensive guards in areas, we won't draft the offensive guard spot. So they're in a pretty good spot.
teamwork, be able to work together with one another, get everybody on the same page. He's perfect. And one other note, they really like TJ Tampa, 4th round steal last year out of Iowa State. Right. And they did some things in free agency with Louisier, so they've done some things cornerback-wise, a little under the radar, the development of TJ Tampa, who I think is going to be a nice addition to that defense this year. Wasn't redshirted, but certainly got coming off the injury, a little banged up. They like TJ Tampa. He said a day 3 steal last year for Eric DeCosta, outstanding general manager for Baltimore Ravens.
Now you can actually see the intensity in him as he made his way from the green room out onto the stage and actually lifted the commissioner off his feet, and he's down there on the stage now. Verizon Business brings us down to Molly, who's with Malachi. Molly.
Malachi, I can feel the energy vibrating off of you. That was quite the hug with Commissioner Goodell. How do you describe what's going through you right now?
I'm ready to go. I've been waiting too long. I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
This Ravens defense was a force down this stretch last season. What will you bring to that secondary?
I got energy. I move around. I play at a high level coming from a university like Georgia. I'm just ready to go play ball.
What do you think about playing with a guy like Kyle Hamilton?
It's my dream.
Great, congratulations, Malachi.
Thank you.
Guys.
Everything you just said was illustrated by his behavior in every conceivable way. That was one fired up.
Boo! Boo!
We've seen the other divisional teams in here. They booed the Bears quite loudly. They booed the Vikings loudly, and now they would boo the Lions loudly as well. The Lions, obviously, a terrific season last year, a terrific team, the best in the NFC, just decimated by injury on the defensive side at the point where they only
2025 the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers for the first time since 2002. You go with a wide receiver.
He needs a guy. He needs some juice off the edge. I mean, Donovan Ezraco's still there. Mike Green from Marshall is still there. You would expect it to be a defensive pick simply because of the fact that they had so many injuries. Yeah. And it really just derailed everything they were trying to get done last year. We'll see what happens.
You're one of two teams that didn't have multiple players with 5 sacks last season. Aiden Hutchinson led the team in sacks, and he only played in 5 games last year. So now what direction do we look at as the commissioner makes his way to the stage?
I'm going to echo what Lou was saying. I think Carson Schlesinger's another name we're going to be hearing at some point in time. You're talking about they have Jack Campbell, but Carson Schlesinger from UCLA. All this kid does is make impactful plays. He's a tackling machine.
Here's the commish with the selection.
With the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Tyreek Williams, defensive tackle.
Defensive. Oh, I know who that is. That's.
All right, so not an edge, a dominant run defender at 334 pounds, who also compressed the pocket for the national champs at 11.5 sacks in his college career.
Here's the first thing you notice, Rudy. He's built like a nose tackle at 6'2", 334 pounds, but he doesn't sit like a 3 technique. I got an opportunity to train him and take him on the field in Tampa. He's got elite movement for a guy that's 330 pounds. The ability to change direction. You talk about him playing the run. He plays the run fiercely at Ohio State. His ability to flip his hips and get upfield. He's got the versatility to play the 3 technique position. He can play the 1 or the 3. I think if he slims down a little bit, he could be the quintessential 3 technique.
No doubt. And I'm sitting here looking at my notes. He primarily aligned as the 3 tech. And the second thing I put was excellent flex, body control, and balance and center of gravity, fluidness of movement for someone with that body that's so thick.
They drafted Tyreek Williams that early? That's a reach. That's a reach.
What's the quickest way to get to the quarterback? We're just going to collapse that pocket inside out.
There are 4 picks remaining in tonight's first round. As of now, they belong to Washington, then Buffalo, then Kansas City, then Philadelphia. Will Shedeur Sanders hear his name called tonight? According to our draft day predictor, there was only a 3% chance he'd be available by the time we got here. He is Mel's 5th rated player on the board. He's still available at $29. We'll be right back. Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, pushes the boundaries of innovation to power the unexpected, all on one battery platform. Experience the industry's most powerful cordless pressure washer with advanced digital controls. A string trimmer so smart, it loads the line with the push of a button. And our most powerful blower that exceeds the power of gas. Ego takes innovation to the next level. One battery powers 90+ tools. Ego, power beyond belief. Find an Ego retailer near you.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
AT&T has a new guarantee because not everything in life is guaranteed. Don't sweat it. Get our best deals on smartphones like iPhone 16 Pro on us with your choice of our best plans. That's the AT&T guarantee. And right now, trade in your iPhone any year, any condition, and get up to $1,000 towards your new iPhone. You had a great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't know my name, do you?
Of course I know your name. I just get you mixed up with the other guy. What's his name? What's your name?
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Could you just tell me? I want this to be over.
With new McValue McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. Like buy a double cheeseburger and have chicken McNuggets for $1. Because 6 finals calls for 6-piece chicken McNuggets. Get more than you expect with new McValue.
2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
For the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage, and electric.
One of many revenge games. Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry. They've only got revenge. Unbelievable.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here, and it's about to be ridiculous, unbelievable, unfair, downright nasty, straight up, can't miss, don't win. Grab your popcorn and strap in cinema. This isn't about who's next. This is about now. This time is different. The NBA playoffs, Friday on ESPN.
The 2025 NFL Draft is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL.
We're back in Green Bay. The Washington Commanders are making the next selection, the number 29, after a magnificent season led by their young quarterback, Jaden Daniels, all the way to the NFC Championship game. And then now making all of these additions that we see here during the
All right, Commanders, what we got? What we got? What we doing? What we doing?
Rusher, big corner, and they want a speedy running back at some point. And obviously, the offensive line keep helping out Jaden Daniels. They did that with Laramie Tunsil coming in. So I think when you look at this, it's all about Jaden. But I'd say a big corner, Will Johnson standing forward with his length and athleticism, and Mike Green, fast rusher out of Marshall, is a guy we know from a talent standpoint and the production that he had at Marshall this year to get off the edge and get after the quarterback.
Here's the thing I will say, Freddie. Think about the team of the night. If you have a young quarterback, you help the young quarterback, either with the receiver or protection. I think they help the young quarterback some way.
We're going to find out in a moment. Here comes the commission. Again, number 29, Washington. The pick is in, and here comes Roger Goodell with the selection.
With the 29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Josh Connerly Jr.
Who?
Oregon.
They do need offensive line help, but they need some guys on that D line. What?
James is a freshman at Oregon, started all 14 as a sophomore, and then now made first team All-American.
I don't know about that pick. I mean, they do need offensive line help, but that defense was getting torched. They need stops.
But he had the one-on-one to show what he could do. The Mike Green was one play at the Senior Bowl. Didn't throw that out. He has the athletic ability to be a guard or a left tackle, a developing standout of that left tackle spot. I was impressed. Run blocking, he got showed the ability to drive the defender off the ball, torque, and then seal, block in space. The ability to pull and get to the second level, I thought, was excellent for Josh Conley. We saw pass protection as well. Running against Alco Carter, didn't allow a sack there. The athletic ability, consistently take away the edge, then mirror that defensive end, use that punch more to keep defenders from getting into his pads. They can lose out a little of power. We saw that during the course of the season, but his hand placement, that could be improved. So an offensive line coach is getting an unfinished, needs a little more polish, refinement. But the talent level, the skill set of Josh Connerly, you give him one more year of Oregon, he's probably a top 5, top 10 pick.
And you see those feet right there on that ET with the tackle slanted down inside. He took that away and then got back out and looked around. He's got nice feet, heavy hands, knocked you off the ball. Got feet a couple times on the inside, up and up. Look, you nailed it, Book. What are you going to do? You're going to make sure James Daniels is straight. Make sure that he got some people who can knock guys off the ball. That's a nice pick for them.
You got Larry Thompson, great for him at left tackle. Sam Coffey's at right guard. Brandon Coleman at right tackle. You got to figure he's either going to play the right tackle or go inside a guard. And so now Jay Daniels, who had a sensational rookie year, feels more protected. You got Debo Samuel. You got the offensive line. I mean, you start to see what they're trying to build in Washington around this young quarterback. Weapons or protection. Either way, the young quarterback needs to be supported.
I think the next piece that they need to get an explosive back in the backfield, true running back. I know they got Debo Samuel, and he's a jack of all trades, but they've got some nice things going on, and here we now sit with the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills picking at 30, and this is a team that has done as much winning as any team ever without taking it all the way. There's 78 wins, including playoffs, going back to 2019, is the most in a 6-season span without making a Super Bowl appearance of any team in the league. So it's a bit of damning with faint praise. They've been very, very good. They need something to put them over the top. What is it, Mel?
They got to cover. They got to cover guys on the back end. You got Will Johnson. As long as the medical is good, Will Johnson's a top 10 to 15 player. No doubt about that. We're Buffalo to see Will Johnson there at this point. That's, I think, surprised a lot of people. Maxwell Hairston, ran great, had a really good junior camp, 2024 campaign. So he got hurt this year with his shoulder, had 5 picks 2 years ago. Now, I know, Lou, you love Trey Amos.
Absolutely. Trey Amos is R.A. Thomas from Florida State. Both of these guys, I mean, they're those long, up, man-to-man cover guys, great jump ball skill, win at the catch point down in the red zone. The kind of guys that Sean McDermott would like to deal with.
Azari Thomas would have been in the first round of that, not even for the 40th.
That's right. I think he's a looking type of guy. Long, tough, and play inside at the start of the nickel position. And Trey Amos, and I'll tell you this, the coaches down in Ole Miss said he reminds us in many ways of what Patrick Japan looks like when he came out of Alabama. He has that same kind of mentality, that same kind of toughness at the catch point, ball skills, all of it. But there's some good players still on the board.
If you talk about fit, though, all those guys, I get it, but from a fit standpoint, if the medical checks out, Will Johnson fits better in that Sean McDermott defense, where they want to have vision on the ball.
You're talking about a too high type of scheme, cover 4, cover.
Exactly. From a zone standpoint, ball still the key to diagnose, get the ball, and get the pick sixes like he did in Michigan. I think he fits better maybe than a Trey Amos or
Well, I would say Trey fits only because down at Ole Miss, I mean, they played a cover 4 type of scheme. It was Nick's scheme, basically, that they played down there. So, I mean, they both make sense.
A team that was mentioned has been so good and yet come up just short in such painful fashion multiple times in the last few years. Last year was supposed to be their dip year, but here they lost so many of their players on defense, reset their salary cap, still found themselves with an opportunity in the AFC Championship game against Mahomes in Kansas City and just couldn't quite get it done at the finish. So let's see which direction they go. Everyone here is expecting defense to help Josh Allen and that Bills offense take a step towards San Francisco or Santa Clara next year.
It's a different way to close the gap, Green. When you talk about the gap between Mahomes and Josh,
They need pass rush.
so how do you close? You got to be able to close the defensive side of the ball.
They need pass rush. Give they need pass rush.
And we can see the commissioner making his
Get him pass rusher.
podium with a very special visitor to announce the pick.
The NFL is stepping up to have an even greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy. Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder. He's a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills.
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Wow. Went for a corner.
Let's go.
Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford. They need pass rush. They do need a cornerback, but they need pass rush.
In 2023, he was outstanding. 5 interceptions, led the SEC, set a school record with 2 interception returns for touchdown in 1 game against Vanderbilt. And then this year, he started 7 games, but he missed 5 games with a shoulder injury. That's 4 pass breakups. Only had the 1 interception. Then they did. Then talking about speed and recovery ability. Remember Nate Wiggins last year going to Baltimore Ravens had a Clemson. This kid is God. His 40 time was outstanding. Late recovery speed, as well as the catch point. Like his ability to plant drive, the frame. Needs to play a little better eye discipline as well. But that frame holding up, being able to support the run and be able to hold up physically in the NFL. But the recovery ability, the coverage skills of Maxwell Harrison. When he was healthy 2 years ago, that was excellent. So, yeah, 39 vertical, 10-9 broad, 4-2-5, becoming out in the 40. But he has the speed and athleticism to make up for some of the deficiency that he has as far as route recognition and playing it true and playing it clean with consistency. That's what happens. That's why you slip down here to 30 and you have the kind of athletic ability he has. But look, Sean McDermott will get it right. They need to really get some cover guys who make some plays on the ball in the secondary. And this is the kind of kid with the kind of traits that you look for down here late in the first round.
He was the first defensive back in school history to go in round 1, and we talk about how badly the Bills need him. They allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete 41% of their passes, thrown 20 yards downfield or more last year. That was 24th in the NFL. Now let's take a look at Matt Garrison.
Yeah, I got that great. You talk about the ability to recover and to see the size. Only about 180, 183 pounds. That's the concern moving forward with that frame. But you watch him here. Look, in Kentucky, Drew Phillips came out of his defense last year. He did a really good job as a rookie with the New York Giants. Anticipate first on the ball. He'll come up with the interception. He had 5 interceptions 2 years ago. He's had 2 in that 1 game for touchdown against Vanderbilt. So, again, here's a kid with the talent. Certainly the Buffalo Bills, they don't need 1. They need 2, maybe 3 cover men to develop that secondary.
And I just love how they play. If you notice the video, he's playing all coverage division on the quarterback. He talked about how Buffalo wants to play with the safeties high and the quarterbacks off, keeping the ball in front of him with the quarterback having vision on the quarterback. He played that to the best of his ability at Kentucky. Was absolutely outstanding. So from a scheme standpoint, from a fit standpoint, and then you add the element of how fast he is, they're welcome addition in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's how he needs to play it right there. He needs to play off, hips open, play everything top down, play with good vision. You saw that number 7 who he ran down from Texas. That's Isaiah Bond now. And he ran him down and made that play on that big post where he was beating this, so he's able to run it down because he's got sub 4.3 speed. They just got to refine this technique, refine his route recognition. And that's what you're looking for here late in the first round.
I see him making his way over to Molly McGrath. Verizon Business brings us down to the stage where Molly has Max Harrison. Molly?
Max, you told me that you were going to practice that handshake with Roger Goodell in the mirror. How do you think you did?
I think I did good. He almost lifted me up on the hood, but I think I did good. I've been waiting all night for that one.
I absolutely love your energy. You are known as a high character leader at Kentucky. What is Buffalo getting in you?
Man, Buffalo, they're getting the ultimate competitor, the ultimate teammate, and they're getting somebody else who can give Josh Allen the ball back. Let's get to work.
All right, congratulations. Before we go, let's see the inside of that jacket.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Max Hairston is headed to Buffalo. I'll tell you what, the NFL draft makes for a strange bedfellows. Kansas City and Philadelphia met in the Super Bowl just a few months ago. Now they've swapped picks here. The Eagles have moved up to 31, trading up with Kansas City. We'll get the details on the trade in just a moment. The Super Bowl champs are on the clock, and we're getting ready to finish up round one from Green Bay. We're back in a moment on ESPN.
That is.
The wide receiver, the first round to get this reaction with Ty Schmidt. This is what you look like, Ty, as the Green Bay Packers announce. I think that is probably synonymous with how everybody feels. Massive pop. Mark Murphy and the Green Bay Packers. To the 4-2 wide receivers hitting the stage right now. We get in the stage. Yeah. He looks awesome. What a suit. Welcome to town.
Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drinking, choice of size. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. Hey, have it your way.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
Here you go, buddy.
You make kids cry. Look, God. Oh my God. It's our baby crying.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak going for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In-store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
Okay, Green Bay, it's your time. We also want to celebrate the special connection with the since 2002. The wide receiver. Listen to this crowd. Oh, baby. Matthew Golden, He's here. He's here. I'll tell you what, timing is everything. You wait till the draft is in Green Bay. You go get a man for the green and gold named Golden. You can't script this any better. Everybody in this entire crowd wanted a wide receiver, Rich, and they came through for him. Listen to this crowd.
Two picks between the two teams who just met in the Super Bowl. You see Philadelphia giving up a fifth rounder this year to move up one spot. We'll see what it is they choose to do very quickly. You know, again, we've had the two quarterbacks selected tonight and seemed almost impossible to imagine that we'll see another. I think it's a storyline as to the commission.
For the first time since 2002.
To the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad Campbell. Alabama.
He's committed to Clemson at the age of 16, playing high school ball in New Jersey. Ultimately flipped his choice to Alabama, where he led the Tide in tackles last year, including 11.5 for loss and 5 sacks.
21 on the big board. Really would have been gone a lot higher. And after the shoulder injury, he played great all year for Alabama. I got 17 tackles, team high 11.5 tackles for loss. 5 of those were sacks. Think about this football team, the way Hall of Fame GM Howie Roseman has constructed it. Half the starters, half the 22 in the SEC. So it's proven entities, those guys play for the big powers in the SEC. And Jihad Campbell did have his head guy. He would have gone much higher had not been for the shoulder injury.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you think about what Philadelphia is doing. They re-signed Zach Bond. The guy they got off the street last year, we had an all-pro season and deserved a new contract, and now you bring in Jihad Campbell. It's an athlete. It's another weapon they can add to their defense, which lost some guys up front. They lost Milton Williams. They lost those guys. And now you add an athlete on the back end, a guy that can roam and make plays in space. It's something to go along with Zach Bond to give them a dynamic duo on the back end.
And he's a great athlete now. He can fly sideline to sideline. He can play 2-4 outside backer if you need him to, because like he's doing right here. Although this is just a 4-man front, he's just rushing in their sub package. But he's got nice high side spin and bend and close on the quarterback. You can see why on some of the tape when he was playing off ball, right? And he's coming downhill and he's taking on linemen. You can see the shoulder issue because he didn't have that same top and been able to get off and get people off of him. But you figure this: if he's healthy and both of those, those shoulders are straight, this is a hell of an athlete. He just looks great. He's got the height too. And he doesn't go on the football team. And they can this is one organization, one football team can wait on John. That's right. Get healthy. You don't have to rush it. They drafted Cooper DeJean, who they stole in the second round. Why? Because he was coming off an injury. They waited it out, and he was an impactful all year and was a key guy in the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. So again, Howie Roseman, I'd say Hall of Fame without question, GM. Nobody does it better. And to get a Jihad Campbell, who, like I said, I think at 21, had not been for the injury, would have been probably around 12 to 15. And like I said, they can wait till it's complete. It's not one shoulder, it's two. Right, exactly. Exactly. Wait till it's completely healthy. Shoulders are 100% before you get him back on the field, and they can wait it out.
You mentioned Howie Roseman. That was the Eagles' NFL high 11th trade involving a first-round pick since he took over in December of 2015. And he is standing by now. And when I say he, Jihad Campbell is standing by with Molly. Verizon Business takes us down to the stage. Molly.
Jihad, the defending Super Bowl champs just traded up for you. How will you repay their belief in you?
I'm going to give them 110%, everything I got in me. You know, the richer just got rich.
You told me that this week felt like an out-of-body experience. What is it like standing up here as the newest member of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Best team in the nation. I mean, what can I say? E-A-G-L-E-S. There we go.
Greeny.
Thank you.
He already knows.
Molly, he already knows. That's a great moment. Again, a young man who suffered those injuries thought he might have to wait until tomorrow night. And here's his name called again in a trade with Kansas City. Shefty, what can you tell us?
Well, the Eagles tried trading up earlier in the draft to go get Jihad Campbell, and the trade fell through, but they were able to persevere and trade up one spot. A lot of people might ask, why would you trade up one spot? Well, I think it's to block another team from potentially coming up, especially when it only costs you a 5th-round draft pick and you've got 20 picks in the next 2 rounds to use as ammunition. And now they get a player who, as Mel mentioned, could have gone from 12 to 15. He did have surgery on one of his shoulders. He's going to need surgery on another shoulder, potentially after the season. He's got a knee issue as well, but the talent is undeniable, Greeny.
No question about it. That feels a little bit like a steal, and that feels a little bit like why, as you mentioned, Howie Roseman is a legend of the profession. And so you see there's Kansas City. There's their legendary coach, Andy Reid, as they will make the final pick of this first round. They're accustomed to doing that. They've won a bunch of Super Bowls in recent seasons. Mel, what does this team need?
I look at a kid and talk about injuries, right? With Jihad Campbell. How about Josh Simmons at Ohio State? Left tackle was playing great football, so he had the knee injury October 12th against Oregon. Could have been a top 5 to 10 pick.
we have to wait a couple more weeks or a month and a half? Fine. If you look at, again, I'll finish it up. Go ahead.
Here's the thing I say about the Chiefs. The only time Patrick Mahomes has lost a Super Bowl is when he was protected. You got to make sure the kid's protected. This has to be some form of protection from Mahomes.
But no, I was just going to say, this is piggyback off of Josh Simmons. When he was healthy, at the end of last year, in the first quarter of this season, he's the best tackle in the draft. There's nothing he can't do. He's just coming off of that patella tendon injury.
Here's the commissioner to announce the final pick of round 1 of this year's draft in Green Bay.
For the 32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
You saw Kevin Malloy from San Diego.
All right, well, that'll do it for the NFL draft for the first round. I had a blast. The Packers, they got my guy, Matthew Golden. He was the number 1 dude on my draft board for players that I want the Packers to draft. Thank God they finally listened. I'm happy, man. I'm satisfied. I don't know what else I can say about this. I'm satisfied. I'll see you guys later. And yeah, man, the Packers finally did it. I can't wait to talk about this on the next podcast episode. Stay tuned. Check that out this Saturday when me and Brian give our opinions on the draft. Peace, guys.
Redirect, anchor,